People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC. People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation. Queen Bee Radio proudly brings you Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And sponsored by Ayers Furniture, Bitech Resource Management, Claire Bank, Fuller's Milker Center, Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Platteville, Les Mack, Northland Buildings, Reeves Wealth Management, Raleigh Cheese House, Russell Law Offices, The Shoebox, Tricor Insurance, West End Salvage, Carver's Hardwood Flooring, Sloan Implements, Sups, Brian's Auto Body and Paint, Gary's Pest Control, TriStar Pallets and TriStar Mulch, Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware Do It Best, Bouse Electric, Cuba City Collision and Repair, Laley Center Monroe, H&N Plumbing, Heating and Electrical, Community First Bank, Grant Regional Health Center, Sullivan Auctioneers, Big Iron Realty, Lancaster Dental Associates, Millie's Diner, Pink's Automotive, Good Knees Garage, Point and Flush Sportsman's Club, Rosemeyer Management Group, Breckler Insurance, McNett Electric, Mound City Bank, Ready Feed and Grain LLC, Southwest Health, and WCC Brands.
Good evening and welcome to Fennimore High School. We are at the Rock and we are ready for the WIAA High School Football Postseason in 11-player football. It's a Level 1 playoff tonight between the Mineral Point Pointers and the Fennimore Golden Eagles on X1071, X1071.com, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel is powered in the postseason by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Broadcasting for the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. I'm Tyler Dictanis, joined alongside Brad Adams, welcoming you to our Raleigh Cheese pregame show. And Brad, this matchup is a 4-seed versus a 5-seed, and a bit of an unusual matchup in a sense because it's not uncommon that you see rivals from the same conferences going at it in the first round of the playoffs, but it is somewhat uncommon to have opponents go at it within 7 days of each other. We did see it last year with Potosi Castle and Blackhawk Warren, which led to the whole blow-up of this playoff system anyway. But these two teams played a heck of a ball game a week ago. A game-winning field goal by Liam Carey as time expired gave Mineral Point the win. Point is riding a 4-game winning streak here heading into Fennimore, where the Golden Eagles hosting their first playoff game since 2018. Very intriguing matchup here tonight.
Yeah, two very deserving teams here to be in the playoffs for this Level 1 matchup. You'd like to see some of these conference rematches maybe happen a little bit later in the playoffs, but that's how things are unraveled here today. So we're going to get a nice little rematch from last week. And, yeah, Mineral Point's looking very good over the last month and a half. We're riding a 4-game win streak, and they seem to be heading in the right direction. Took some bumps and bruises early on the season with their tough schedule, but they've figured things out and look pretty good. And then you have Fennimore, who's in the midst of their best season since 2018 and looking to keep this season going.
Yeah, Mineral Point was marred by injuries in the early part of the season. They got off to, I believe, a 1-4 start before things started to turn around. They're riding that 4-game winning streak heading into the postseason. And for Fennimore, as you said, had a really nice start to their season. Ran into a powerhouse in Darlington, which Darlington rolled over everybody, this year in the SWAL. Played a gritty game against Belleville, got a 2-point win in that matchup. And then last week for Fennimore, injuries kind of played a factor in that matchup as well. But you talk with both head coaches, and you'll hear the pregame interviews in just a little bit. They're feeling very confident about their teams heading into this matchup. And, I think the good part for both these teams is that because they just saw each other recently, the on-the-spot corrections and the things that you can tighten up, you'll see just how quickly those adjustments are being made.
Yeah, there'll be a few tricks and wrinkles into their game plan, I'm sure, but the game plan from last week to this week should be relatively similar, so you'll just be able to see some wrinkles and see how the coaches adjust to that, and it should be a very good ball game.
Yep, looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Mineral Point and Fennimore going at it in our Division 6 Level 1 playoff. The winner of this game will take on the winner of number 1 seeded Darlington and number 8 seeded Melrose Mindoro. Just going to put this out there. I think Darlington is going to win that matchup pretty handily over Melrose Mindoro. Other matchups in this upper right quadrant of the bracket, we have number 3 seeded Auburndale hosting number 6 seeded Crandon, and the 7 seed Belleville heading to number 2 seeded Markesan. And on our other Queen Bee Radio family of stations tonight over on 97.7 Country WGLR, the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, 7 seeded Lancaster at number 2 seeded Amherst. And on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, River Ridge at Blackhawk Warren. RJ Osterhaus and Wally Troughton with the call of that matchup. And on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, Platteville is in action. They are at Lodi, and what seems like Platteville and Lodi run into each other all the time in postseason football. But Steve Prestegard and Mike Hoosier on the call of that game, again on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. And any updates that we bring you across our area high school playoff scene, we'll bring them to you on our Shoebox Scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Coming up on our Raleigh Cheese pregame show, we'll chat with both head coaches, caught up with both Tyrell Rosemeyer of Fennimore and Justin Leonard of Mineral Point. We asked them about the players on the Russell Office's injury report. If you've been injured, contact Russell Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLaw.wi.com. We'll also get you the People's State Bank coin toss, the Fuller Smoker Center starting lineups, Cuba City Family General colors of the game, our Dewey Tire Repair, Turf, and Weather Report, and the kickoff between Mineral Point and Fennimore in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. The Raleigh Cheese pregame show is presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County.
Don't forget the cheese.
Back after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 1. Steve Schmidt Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton has unique team treasures. They have over 25,000 signed sports cards, plus autographed photos, bobbleheads, caps, signed baseballs, and more. That's Steve Schmidt Sports Treasures Plus in Stoughton.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors, combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Pregame 1.
The Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Mineral Point and Fennimore going at it in tonight's WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. We're joined by Fennimore head coach Tyrell Rosemeyer. Coach, thank you for joining us. And coming off a tough loss a week ago against Mineral Point, 39-36 on a game-winning field goal to close it out. It sounds like it was a very back-and-forth matchup with the Pointers last week, but The season overall, team, making the playoffs for the first time since 2018, and a lot of high hopes for this Fennimore Golden Eagles team heading into the postseason. Talk about what you've seen from your team's play recently, and what momentum does Fennimore have heading into the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we, last week was a tough loss, credit to Mineral Point there. But leading up to that, we had been playing really, really well. So we're just looking to get back on that path. Our guys have been really positive this week, have responded really well. So I'm just excited to see them come out and play on Friday.
Yep, and speaking of the matchup against Mineral Point last week, 39-36 the final, so a high-scoring affair between both teams. What did you take away from last week's matchup as far as things that you're looking to correct heading into the matchup with Mineral Point, and what were some of the positives from that game as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively we just, need to make some adjustments, and, we need to tackle in the open field is the big thing. If we tackle in the open field, we win that game. So, just making those corrections in practice, we've done that. So I feel good about the defense heading in. And the positives, I mean, our offense, got shut down, I think, the first drive or two, and then went on to score 5 straight drives. So our offense really found it last week, and, I'm just looking forward to see them continue down that path.
All right, Tyrell Rosemeyer with us on our Raleigh Cheese pregame show, getting ready for Mineral Point and Fennimore in a Division 6 Level 1 playoff. The Russell Office's injury report. Talk about the team health heading into the matchup against Mineral Point coming up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got some guys banged up, but they're soldiering through. One player who won't play is Brody Roth. He's out the rest of the season, and we wish him a speedy recovery because, he's a great kid and a great athlete. So wishing Brody a speedy recovery.
All right, excellent. And then the Rosemeyer Wealth Management key to the game against Mineral Point. You kind of alluded to it, the things that went well and the things that you're looking to adjust, but what are going to be the keys tonight for Fennimore if they're going to come away with the win?
I think everything comes down to tackling and blocking. So we tackle and we block, we win the game. So that's been our focus, and that's really what football comes down to is tackling, who tackles better and who blocks better. So, again, just excited to see our work pay off.
All right, should be a great matchup. We're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that's Tyrell Rosemeyer, head coach of the Fennimore Golden Eagles, and we'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Pregame 2.
Life can get busy. Work, family, endless to-do lists, but don't let your health take a backseat. A mammogram is an important screening that only takes a few minutes, and it could be a step toward peace of mind for you and your loved ones. Whether it's your first or your annual visit, Grant Regional makes it quick, easy, and it's one thing you can check off your list. Make your health a priority. Schedule your mammogram today, accepting medical associates, dean, and Quartz insurance to name a few. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Football season is back, and no matter which home team you root for, there's one thing everyone in the Midwest can agree on. If you're tailgating or grilling at home, nothing beats a freshly baked Village Hearth bun. An old-fashioned hot dog bun is the perfect accompaniment for a brat or a hot dog and all the toppings your little heart desires. And for the best burgers, you just can't beat the Village Hearth Classic bun. So head to the store and pick up some Village Hearth buns. The weekend is almost here. Pregame 2.
The Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Mineral Point and Fennimore scoring off in tonight's Level 1 playoff in Division 6. And we're joined now by Mineral Point head coach Justin Leonard. Coach, thanks for joining us and coming off a last-second win against Fennimore a week ago, 39-36 on the game-winning field goal by Liam Carey. A 4-game winning streak to close out the regular season and earning a number 5 seed in this Division 6 bracket. Talk about the team's success this year and what things have been going right for the Pointers, especially in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think for us it was, coming into the year, we had a lot of young players in our front seven on both sides of the ball on offense and defense. And, we had to have some guys mature and grow up and learn how to play the positions, how they need to be played. And that started to happen, I think, towards part of the Cuba City game and part of the Belleville game. We were just unable to play 4 quarters in those 2 games. And then when we got back to our homecoming game against Beloit Turner, a lot of good things happened. And with that, we got back Grady Finley, who was out with a shoulder injury for that 4-game stretch where we had those losses. And he was a spark plug that we really needed on our offense. That's really helped us a ton.
All right, excellent. That's good to hear. And what's been the area of growth that you're most satisfied with your team since the start of the season to this point?
I think overall we've had a team growth. I think defensively we had a couple outside linebackers that took a little bit of time to get going, and those guys have really settled into what they do, and what we expect them to do, and that's kind of helped build our defense there. Liam Carey has stepped into the safety role on the defensive side of the ball, and he's kind of helped solidify our pass defense and our run fits there. And then again, on the offense side of the ball, when Grady came back, he became that spark plug that allowed our offense to attack all the quadrants of the field. And, Liam Carey's been a great general there, along with our seniors and our wide receivers. Overall, I think our offense has been in a good spot, and Coach Mitchell and the offensive staff have put the team in position to be successful. And it just kind of all came together, and this group has been a fantastic group all year for us.
All right, Justin Laird with us on our Rally Cheese pregame show, getting ready for Mineral Point and Fennimore in our Division 6 Level 1 playoff. Our Russell office's injury report, you alluded to getting some players back that have helped during the second half of the season. What's the health status of the team heading into the matchup with Fennimore tonight?
Yeah, we don't have Elliot Kite. He was an individual that had started for us on both sides of the ball and was one of our better offense and defensive players at his position. And he will not be back for the remainder of the year. And then we have another offensive lineman who may or may not play at this point. It's kind of going to be a game time decision. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, everybody else is healthy.
All right, that's good to hear. And then the Rosemeyer Wealth Management keys to the game against Fennimore obviously got the win last week on the last-second field goal, and it sounded like it was a back-and-forth game throughout the game last week. And now this week's game, it's at Fennimore, so Fennimore has a home field advantage in this matchup. What did you take away from the matchup last week against the Golden Eagles, and what does Mineral Point have to do tonight?
Well, I think the special teams kick return that we had last week was a great spark for us. Liam's been amazing with his leg and what he's been able to do with the extra points and the field goals and placing the ball on our kickoffs. So our special teams has gotten better. We need to continue to look for opportunities with our special teams. I think defensively there was some missed opportunities by us by having some broken coverages that allowed them to extend plays or extend possessions, and that was kind of our focus this week is hey, bend but don't break. Let's not let them get the big plays, and so hopefully we can keep their number count down lower as far as scoring goes. And then offensively, they just got to continue to do what they do, trust the process of what they're doing, continue to put points on the board like they have the last 4 to 5 weeks.
All right, should be a great matchup. We're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Have some fun and good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Justin Leonard, the head coach of the Mineral Point Pointers. We'll have more on the Raleigh Cheese pregame show after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 1. From small-town businesses to large multi-state operations, Tricor Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance have industry expertise that can cover all types of businesses.
Having an insurance agency that understands our business is a real benefit. They know our people. It's something Tricor does really well.
Tricor's in-depth knowledge of insurance, regulation, compliance, and safety consulting is here to help your business succeed. Working with leading insurance companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They'll be there when you need them most. Visit TricorInsurance.com to learn more about Tricor Insurance Cycle of Care.
Hi, this is Christine Rowley of Raleigh Cheese, wishing all area athletes successful seasons. Cheese is a great source of protein for school lunches or a snack before the big game. Stop in and try some of our award-winning artisan cheeses like Dunbarton Blue, Red Rock, and Little Mountain. We have fresh cheese curds weekly and a wide variety of snacks and beverages, plus made-to-order cheese trays. Shop locally and taste the difference of handmade Wisconsin cheese at Raleigh Cheese House on the corner of Highways 11 and 23, Shellsburg.
In Game 1.
Raleigh Cheese pregame show continues from the Rock at Fennimore High School, closing in on the kickoff between Mineral Point and Fennimore WIAA Division 6. Level 1 playoff on X1071 of the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Tyler Dutanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home. For what's sure to be the best seat in your house, be sure to visit Ayers Furniture and AyersFurniture.com. Let's talk about the People's State Bank coin toss, Brad. I know you were paying attention to it, but kind of a weird-looking signal that they gave us here, but I think the assumption is that Mineral Point's going to receive.
I'm assuming Mineral Point's going to receive. Fennimore did win the toss and deferred, and that's where things kind of got a little hairy for me trying to pay attention. I'm pretty sure Mineral Point's going to receive and go from our right to left, but very well could have something there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll roll down the Fuller Smoker Center starting lineups in just a minute, but first let's talk about the Dewey's Tire Repair exclusive turf and weather report. For all of your farm, auto, and truck and tire sales service needs, the best place to take a leak, Dewey's Tire Repair in Platteville. We've been spoiled with great weather all season long, but once the postseason hit, fall finally decided to show up. It is a bit chilly out here, 46 degrees right now at kickoff, should drop into the 30s by game's end as the sun has officially set, the lights are on, and it feels like playoff football here tonight in Southwest Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is definitely football weather, and I don't think if you're a player you could ask for anything better to be playing in this. If you're a fan, you might get a little cold. As you said, we were pretty spoiled throughout the fall season. Fall weather never really decided to show up very much.
Right.
Seemed pretty late summerish for the most part, but yeah, this is great weather, and it should be a good one to watch.
Yeah, looking at the field, looking at the players during warm-ups, didn't see anyone slipping or anything like that, so it looks like the field is in good condition for tonight's matchup as well. So we should not have weather be a factor here tonight, so to speak, but it is definitely hitting weather, and those hits, those big hits in particular, they'll have a little bit of sting to it here tonight.
Yep, there'll be a little bit more sting to some of the hits, but with the players' adrenaline, this is playoff football. You got to expect that to happen, so you should be able to hear the pads popping pretty well tonight.
All right, looking forward to it. Let's run down the Fuller Smoker Center starting lineups. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at FullerSmokerCenter.com. For the Mineral Point offense, they are led by quarterback number 1, Liam Carey, passing on the season 100 completions on 185 attempts, almost 1,500 yards passing, 14 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and on the ground 107 rushing attempts for 294 yards and 7 TDs on his stat line. In the backfield with him is running back number 0, Grady Finley, 71 carries for 331 yards and 17 receptions for 272 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. The wide receivers from left to right, number 18, Hudson Schrader, number 17, Torrin Bomstad, number 6, Brett Bossert, and the right split end will be a combination of number 2, Cole Ripp, and number 19, Memphis Burkhalter. The offensive line from left to right, number 68, Keegan Wanger, number 60, Reed Docknall, number 51, Garen Docknall, number 54, Jake Dannenberg, and number 66, Brady Haas. And for the Fennimore defense, along the defensive line, number 9, Jacob Kretschmann, number 34, Logan Kessler, number 53, John King, number 54, Waylon Miles, and number 57, Braden Washburn. The linebacking crew, number 4, Sean Yankee Fiedler, number 3, Jude Kinney, number 33, Ryder Zanchevitz, and number 32, Colton Tollefson. The defensive secondary, number 14, Owen Kloss, and number 8, Corey Drazen. Now let's set up the starting lineups for when Fennimore is on offense, and they are led by their quarterback, number 12, Dawson Krubel, passing on the season 85 completions on 147 attempts, 1,241 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And on the ground, 43 attempts for 107 yards and 2 rushing TDs. In the backfield, a great running back, number 2, Reese Kelly, 166 rushing attempts, 1,086 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry, and 13 rushing touchdowns. Receiving 13 catches for 123 yards and 2 TDs. Also in the backfield with him, due to the injuries for Fennimore, they're going to go with a 2-back set. In the backfield will also be number 33, Ryder Zanchevitz, 21 rushing attempts for 154 yards and 3 touchdowns. The receiving crew, number 4, Sean Yankee Fiedler, 18 catches for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jude Kinney, 15 catches, 226 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the tight end, Jacob Kretschmann, 4 catches for 42 yards and 1 TD. The offensive line, number 52, Reed Stalsberg, number 54, Waylon Miles, number 56, Noah Needham, number 57, Braden Washburn, and number 78, Corbin Demo. The Mineral Point defense, along the line, number 60, Reed Docknall, number 53, Tyler Vondra, number 51, Garen Docknall, and number 2, Cole Ripp. The linebacking crew The strong side linebacker, number 9, Cole Pouts. The middle linebacker, number 54, Jake Dannenberg. And the weak side linebacker, number 10, Clayton Yana. The defensive secondary at the corners, number 19, Memphis Burkhalter. Or beg your pardon, number 18, Hudson Schrader. Number 17, Torin Bomstad. The safeties, number 19, Memphis Burkhalter, and number 1, Liam Carey. Those are the Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster, Richland Center, and at Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com. Our Cuba City Family Dental colors of the game brought to you by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. Mineral Points, and they're all white jerseys with blue numbers. They have white helmets, but they're wearing the blue Guardian caps in tonight's matchup. And Fennimore is in their home maroon jerseys, maroon helmets, maroon jerseys, maroon pants with gold numbers and gold trim. Those are the colors of the game. And here's our national anthem from Fennimore. Tonight's national anthem by the Fennimore Marching Band. And we are closing in on the kickoff between Fennimore and Mineral Point on X1071, WPVL FM Platteville, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Our YouTube stream powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Lely Center Monroe. Football tonight is sponsored by Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore. Also brought to you by Mount City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. Wood Law Office serving you in Fennimore and Boscobel, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, municipal law. Call Ben at Wood Law Office in Fennimore and Boscobel. And by Brian Steffes Construction, your local Wick building dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put Wick Buildings, your dreams, and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you. Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point, the experts for auto service and repairs for tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostics. Visit the experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. Player introductions have wrapped up. And we're set to get the playoffs started in 11-player football in the state of Wisconsin on a chilly Friday night in October. And this is just one of 4 games that we have across our Queen Bee Radio family of stations tonight. Also have Platteville at Lodi on ESPN Radio, AM 5090, WPVL, River Ridge at Blackhawk Warren on Super Hits 106, and Lancaster at Amherst on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Looks like I must have been wrong. Fennimore is going to get the ball to start.
All right, so the Golden Eagles will receive, and it looks like they will work from left to right as we see it from the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth, and as you see it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Kicking off for Mineral Point will be Liam Carey, and back to return for Fennimore will be number 2, Reese Kelly, and number 4, Sean Yankee Fiedler. As Liam Carey will have the ball, tee it up, and we'll get this party started at the Rock in Fennimore. Fennimore hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2018, the last time they made the postseason. And the Fennimore fans have turned out. You can see the Mineral Point stands pretty well full on their side of the field as well. Mineral Point special teams fans out. And Liam Carey set to give the signal. Here's the run-up and the kick. We are underway on X1071, WPVL-FM Platteville, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. This one fielded by Fennimore and brought out to the 31-yard line on the return for the Golden Eagles was number 20, Cooper Imhoff, and it will be 1st and 10 for Fennimore on the first play of offense.
Yeah, special teams I think will be a big part of this game. It was a big part of last week's game. I believe Mineral Point recovered an onside kick during that game, and then they took the second half kickoff, I believe, back for a touchdown. So special teams is going to be a big key. You got to imagine Fennimore spent a lot of times on special teams this week.
Dawson Krubel brings the offense to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line on the near side hash mark. Krubel with 2 wide receivers to the right side, Reese Kelly in the backfield, and a wingback to the left side of the formation as well. Krubel reads the defense and gives inside to Reese Kelly, and Kelly bounces it out to the left side, across the 40 to the 50, far side 40, down the sideline 30, 20, jukes to the middle of the field, and surging his way. Is he in? They're going to say he's just short of the goal line, but an explosive run by Reese Kelly to open things up for Fennimore. 1st and goal, Golden Eagles.
What a way to start for Fennimore. Nice hole on the left side of the line there, opened up, and Reese Kelly took full advantage and raced down the field. Takes it down to about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, once he saw that hole on the left side of the line, he just took off, and when he's averaging 6.5 yards per carry, that's a good clip to start things off for the Golden Eagles. 1st and goal, Fennimore in the Bitech green zone, a greener way. Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Krubel out of the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield with him. Krubel awaiting the snap. And Krubel going to give inside, and the ball carrier crosses the goal line, and he's in for a Northland Buildings touchdown. Two plays and 69 yards. And Fennimore's on the board first, 6-0 with 11:05 to play in the first quarter.
Yep, that's a heck of a way to start there if you're Fennimore. That's what you want to see, especially after the tight game last week, to get going nice and early in this game. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going.
I believe that was Ryder Zanzavich on the carry for Fennimore. And now we'll see the PAT by Jude Kinney. Snap is down, and the kick is ricocheted to the right. No good. So the score remains Fennimore 6, Mineral Point nothing, with 11:05 to play in the first quarter. And you want to talk about an explosive start, that's about as explosive as you can get right away.
Yep, you can't ask for a better start if you're Fennimore. If you're Mineral Point, that's not the exact way you want to start the game, but you got to know there's a lot of time left. No need to panic. Just got to put your offense out there and do what they do, and try to come back and answer the score.
Mineral Point set to receive the ensuing kickoff. Our game tonight brought to you by Community First Bank. Free in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. By Eggers Enterprises in Mineral Point, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping, and now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook and call Lane today. I believe it's Colton Tollefson who will tee it up for Fennimore. Actually, check that. That is number 55.
Colton Tollefson.
Colton Tollefson. Colton Tollefson usually wears 32. He's going to be wearing 55 tonight. Now here's the ensuing kickoff, and this is a near onside kick, and it rolls down the Fennimore sideline and goes out of bounds. So Fennimore trying to catch Mineral Point napping, but kickoff not executed the way they wanted it to, and it will be 1st and 10 for Mineral Point.
Yep, Fennimore was going for another huge momentum play there. If they would have recovered that somewhat onside kick there, that would have been a huge play for them. Unfortunately, the execution just wasn't right there, so Mineral Point will be set up in pretty good field position.
Say the ball's at the 42-yard line on the Mineral Point side on the near side hash mark. Liam Carey set to bring the Mineral Point offense to the line. 1st and 10 pointers Fennimore out to his 6-0 lead, scoring on 2 plays, set up by a massive run by Reese Kelly, and then finished off by Ryder Zanzevich in the end zone. And now there's I
think this is an additional 5 yards for kicking it out of bounds.
Okay, so we'll say it's at the 47-yard line after the Pinks penalty. And now we're set to resume. 4 wide receivers set for Mineral Point. They'll run this same look out of the pistol with Liam Carey and Grady Finley in the backfield for the Pointers. Bomstad going in motion from left to right. And a pitch out to Bomstad as Bomstad with a nice cut up the far side to the 50 and tackled down at the Fennimore 45-yard line. Nice first run offensively for Mineral Point. Caught a gain of 8. It will be 2nd and 2 coming up at the Fennimore 45-yard line.
Nice little option play there, ran by Carey, and did a nice job of pitching it out, and the ball carrier was able to get to the outside and get a nice gain of 8.
And Torrin Bomstad, the left slot wide receiver, running on the option, and now a trips left set, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Liam Carey looking back to the Fennimore sideline for some direction. Grady Finley to his left. 3 down linemen for Fennimore. Now Grady Finley lines up right behind Liam Carey for a pistol look. And a fake inside to Finley, and Liam Carey's going to keep it, and he twists his way forward and gets the Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for the Pointers at the Fennimore. We'll say 43-yard line.
Just got enough for that first down. Nice, another read option kind of there, and Carey kept the ball and was just able to get that first down.
Ivy Construction Incorporated is a family-owned and operated ready-mix, aggregate, and excavation company serving southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction in Mineral Point. And the Butcher Shop for great tasting meal to feed your family. Visit the Butcher Shop in Fennimore. 1st and 10 for the Pointers. 9:37 to play in the first quarter. 6-0. Fennimore on top. 2 receivers each side of the formation, actually 3. And a fake inside to Grady Finley, and Liam Carey trying to bounce it to the right side, but there's nowhere to go, and a great tackle made. I believe that was Sean Yankee Fiedler making the tackle for Fennimore. And it was a gain of about 2 yards on the play. Football's at the 41-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Pointers.
If you're Coach Rosemeyer, you got to be feeling pretty good about these first few minutes here. In the pre-game interview, he said blocking and tackling were a big thing. They did a heck of a job blocking on their first possession, and they're not really allowing Mineral Point to get too big of gains here. They're not doing a nice job tackling and getting them down to the ground early.
4 wide receivers set again, 2 to each side. Pistol look for Mineral Point. Liam Carey reading the defense. Takes a snap. Trying to bounce it to the left side, and a forward push pass to Finley, and Finley gets it across the 40-yard line all the way to the 36, we'll call it. And it will be 3rd and about 3 yards to go as the Pointers have to get across the 33-yard line for Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, and the Pointers are at the line of scrimmage quickly. And Carey out of the shotgun, dropping back to pass. And a Pinks penalty flag. I think someone got a head start for Mineral Point, and that will back them up 5. So the yardage they just gained on the last play negated by the Pinks penalty flag. Stops the clock with 8:20 to play in the first quarter. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Mineral Point, trailing 6-0.
Yeah, and we're at the point of the season now where penalties can turn up to be big in games like this, so you definitely want to keep those to a minimum.
3rd and 10 coming up for Mineral Point. Same 4 wide receiver set. Grady Finley to the right side of Carey. Carey driving back to pass. Pressure coming. Dumps it off to the far side, and it's off the fingertips of his intended receiver. And it will be 4th and 10 coming up for Mineral Point. I believe the intended receiver was number 6, Brett Bossert. And it'll be 4th and 10 coming up for Mineral Point. They'll punt it away.
Fennimore was able to get some pressure on Carey there and kind of rushed the throw a little bit, sailed on him, and just to overthrew him, and otherwise that probably would have been a first down completion there.
Back to return for Fennimore is Sean Yankee Fiedler. And punting it away is Liam Carey, and the snap goes over Carey's head. 2 Golden Eagles coming, and Carey will pick up the ball, and he's going to say he's down. And it's a turnover, a Lancaster Dental and Fennimore Smiles turnover. And the Golden Eagles will take over in Mineral Point territory at about the 35-yard line.
Yep, kind of a disaster play if you're Mineral Point there, thinking you're going to be able to pin Fennimore deep in their own territory, a bad snap, and now Fennimore's right on the good side of the field there and looking to extend this lead.
Football's at the 34-yard line, 7:58 to play in the first quarter. Fennimore 6, Mineral Point nothing. As Dawson Krubel brings the offense to the line, 2 receivers out to the left. Reese Kelly to the left side of Krubel. Krubel taking his time. Now here's a snap and another give inside to Kelly. And Kelly breaks away from one defender, a stiff arm on the near side, and gets suplexed near the sideline across the 30-yard line. And it will be second down coming up for Fennimore as they are at the 28-yard line, we'll call it.
Hudson Schrader there with the tackle, and yeah, he was not going to – Kelly was doing his best to try to break that tackle, and Schrader was able to kind of suplex him down to the ground.
2nd and 5 coming up for Fennimore. 2 receivers again to the left. A wing back to the right side. Reese Kelly to his left. Here's the snap to Krubel. Krubel dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle. Going to fire it down the near sideline. And the pass is batted away. Incomplete. Along the near sideline, near the end zone. Great coverage downfield. I believe that was Bomstad that knocked the ball away. And it's 3rd and 5 coming up for Fennimore with 7:08 to play in the first.
I think it was actually Hudson Schrader there on the coverage again. So 2 back-to-back nice plays by Hudson Schrader there on the coverage and on the tackle the play prior.
Southwest Health has over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Same formation for Fennimore as the previous 2 plays. 2 receivers left, a wing back to the right. Reese Kelly to the left of Dawson Krubel. Sean Yucky Fiedler went in motion, but he might have jumped, and it's going to be offsides against Mineral Point.
Yep, Mineral Point kind of jumped when the motion went and set there and gives Fennimore 5 yards and a first down.
So Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down for Fennimore, courtesy of the Pinks penalty. It's always great when you can knock out 2 sponsors in one play.
There you go.
1st and 10 for Fennimore at the Mineral Point 24-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, or 2 to the right, I should say. Yankee Fiedler going in motion for the right side slot, and they'll give it to him on a receiver sweep, but there's nowhere for him to go. Making the tackle for Mineral Point is number 9, Cole Pouts. 54 tackles coming into the game, 4 tackles for loss. And I believe they're going to say he got forward progress that time, and it'll be 2nd and long. Looks like 2nd and 10.
Yep, looks like he got down right at the line of scrimmage. Fennimore tried a nice little reverse sweep type play, wide receiver sweep, and Mineral Point did a nice job of staying home and was able to bring him down.
6:37 left in the first quarter, still 6-0. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point. 2 receivers each side of the formation again for Krubel. Ryder Zanzevich, the running back to the left. Krubel dropping back to pass off the snap. Quick pass near side. Pass is caught on the near sideline and knocked out of bounds. The receiver is Jacob Kretschmann, the tight end. Gets knocked out of bounds, I believe, near the 20. Actually, closer to the 15-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go.
Nice little quick hitch kind of pattern there to get him down to about the 17, 18-yard line.
So it's at the 17-yard line. Gain of 7 on the previous play. 3rd and 4. 2 receivers again to each side. Ryder Zanzevich, the running back to the right side. Krubel with the snap, and it's a quarterback keeper trying to look for some room out the middle, but a gang tackle just across the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's got enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. It will be 4th down for Fennimore, and it'll be 4th and about 2. And we'll see what kind of package Fennimore comes out with here, as this will be play number 6 of this drive.
And we'll see if Fennimore just tries a quick one up the gut here, or if they try to get to the outside with their speed and try to get the first down that way.
And Reese Kelly lining up in the backfield for a Wildcat type of look, and he just runs it up the middle, still on his feet, and into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown.
Well, that's the answer to that question. Just put the running back right in the back, tell him to go right up the gut and get in the end zone.
Reese Kelly cashes in with rushing touchdown number 14 on the season, and Fennimore with a 2-score lead on Mineral Point with 5:37 to play in the first quarter. Fennimore 12, Mineral Point nothing.
And the 2-point conversion is good. They're going a little fast for us up here. We're trying to keep some stats, but it looks like Kelly got the ball again and ran out right up the middle for the 2-point conversion.
All right, so Reese Kelly, a Northland Buildings touchdown, and the Point and Flush Sportsman's Club 2-point conversion makes it 14-0. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point. Back after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game 2.
Are high bank fees draining your wallet? It's time for a change.
At People's State Bank, they believe in low fees that put you first.
Tired of being charged for using your debit card, sneaky paper statement fees, or monthly maintenance fees?
With People's State Bank's People's Checking Account, those fees are a thing of the past.
Worried about ATM fees?
At People's State Bank, they reimburse you for up to 3 ATM fees per month. They work hard to keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket.
Make the switch to People's State Bank today. Visit a branch near you or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC.
Ready to work in a fun, fast-paced environment? Thumbser's 19th hole in East Dubuque is hiring. They're looking for AM and PM cooks and bartenders to join their team. No experience? No worries. Thumbser's will train the right people. If you bring the right attitude, they'll give you the skills to succeed. Thumbser's 19th hole is more than just a place to work. It's a place where you'll meet great people, learn new things, and be part of a team that feels like family. Apply in person today at Thumbser's 19th hole in East Dubuque. Don't miss your chance. Join the Thumbser's team today. In game 2.
Colton Tollison with the ball teed up for Fennimore. The ensuing kickoff will be fielded by Bomstad on the near sideline, and Bomstad looking for some room, makes one defender miss, and gets tackled across the 30-yard line to about the 35. And 1st and 10 coming up for the Mineral Point Pointers, trailing 14-0 on our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football, presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Tyler DeCanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house. In the Ears Furniture broadcast booth, a strong start for the Golden Eagles. Special teams, offense getting 2 scores, and the defense holding their own early on in this game too.
Yep, they bent a little bit on Mineral Point's first drive, but was able to hold them there, and yeah, their offense is looking very good so far.
1st and 10, and Grady Finley is tackled in the backfield for a tackle for a loss, and I believe that was Zanzevich going in to make the tackle, bursting through from his linebacker spot. And just like Coach mentioned in our pregame interview, he wanted to see some strong tackling and some great blocking by his offense, and right now the defense answering the bell.
Yep, I know the last game we covered here, they were versus Darlington, and both coaches in that game were preaching physicality, and it seems like that's kind of the message that Coach Tyrell preached again this week, and Fennimore's playing up to that standard right now.
Ball's just beyond the 30-yard line. We'll say it's the 31 on 2nd and 14. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Mineral Point trailing by 14. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Grady Finley lined up right behind Liam Carey, and a Pink's penalty flag on the defensive side of the ball, and I believe someone got a head start for Mineral Point. And the Pink's penalty flag will move the Pointers back 5 more, so now 2nd and 14 becomes 2nd and 19. Football tonight brought to you by Cow Tippers Pub and Eatery in Mineral Point, a great place to enjoy apps, half-pound and gourmet burgers, sandwiches, and Friday night fish fry. Cow Tippers Pub and Eatery in Mineral Point. 2nd and 19 from the Pointers' 26-yard line. 2 receivers each side of the formation for Mineral Point. One running back to the right. Bomstad going in motion from the left side slot. And Bomstad looking for some room on the right side, but not a lot of room there as the Fennimore defense reading that one. We saw that the first play that Mineral Point ran, but the defense sniffing that one out.
He was able to get a few yards back on that, but yeah, Fennimore's doing a great job right now of staying home and not buying into some of these fakes that Mineral Point is doing and doing a good job of keeping their lanes and making sure to funnel everything back into the middle of the field so the rest of their team can get there for the gang tackle.
Looks like he got to the 29-yard line, so a gain of 3 makes it 3rd and 14. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Liam Carey out of the pistol. Carey with the snap, dropping back to pass. Pressure coming, and a throw over the middle, and pass is going to fall incomplete. Pass was intended for Memphis Burkhalter, sprinting down the middle of the field, but he got tripped as the ball was in the air. No flag on the play, and it's going to be 4th and long. Partners will punt it away.
Let's see if they can get a little bit better snap on this punt play here and pin Fennimore a little bit farther back in their own territory. Fennimore defensive line did a good job there of creating more pressure on Carey there as he was trying to throw. He got hit right as he was letting go of the ball and led to an overthrow for this 4th down play here.
Sean Yankee Fiedler and Jude Kinney back to return for Fennimore as Liam Carey does get the snap, and he gets the punt away, and this is a nice punt that will be fielded at the 36-yard line. Jude Kinney with some room up the middle, and then runs into a pack of pointers across the 45-yard line to about the 47, and it will be 1st and 10 for Fennimore, leading 14-0 with 3:22 to play in the first quarter.
If you're Fennimore here, you don't want to let off the gas here. You want to keep this momentum going and try to extend this lead further to a 3-score game and just keep playing as well as they have been so far. This is a great first quarter for Fennimore.
Football tonight sponsored by Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore. 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles at their own 46-yard line, far side hash mark. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Pistol look this time for Fennimore. I believe that's Ryder Zanzavich in the backfield. And Zanzavich will get the carry as he bursts his way up the middle across the 50 to the 49-yard line in Mineral Point territory. Gain of at least 4. Should be 2nd and 6 for Fennimore at the Mineral Point 49-yard line.
Nice little pistol look there, and Fennimore must have liked what they saw on tape from the past week's game. They're trying to force the ball up the middle early and often in this game, and they're being very successful so far.
Community First Bank, free in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. Same 4 wide receiver look again. 2 receivers each side. Pistol look for Dawson Krubel. 2:45 left in the first quarter. 14-0. Fennimore on top. It's a high snap and a quick pass to the near side, and the pass off the fingertips and incomplete. Looking for Sean Yankee Fiedler on a little bubble screen on the near side, but just out of Yankee Fiedler's reach. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 49-yard line.
It might have rushed the throw just a little bit there and just let Yankee Fiedler just a tad too much. Otherwise, they had the screenplay set up for a nice gain there.
Woodlaw Office serving you in Fennimore and basketball, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Ben at Woodlaw Office, Fennimore, and basketball. 3rd and 6 for Fennimore at the Mineral Point 49-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. Krubel awaiting the snap. And a fake. And this is Yankee Fiedler, but he gets tackled in the backfield, a tackle for a loss as Jake Dannenberg makes his presence felt. The leading tackler for the Pointers, 114 total tackles coming into this game. 18 TFLs make it 19 after that play, and a Pink's penalty flag, I believe. Or no, they say...
I think they're just running the clock. Not really sure what that signal was.
Yeah.
But it looks like that was a little – Fennimore tried a little reverse there, and Yankee Fiedler didn't quite get the handle on the ball right away on the reverse, but Mineral Point did a good job tackling in the backfield for a loss.
Football back on the Fennimore side of the 50 at the 48-yard line. It's 4th and 9. Fennimore lining up to go for it. 2 receivers to the right side. Krubel dropping back to pass. Pressure coming. Throw over the middle. Pass is caught by Kinney at the 40-yard line, and he is tackled near the 30. A 4th down conversion for Fennimore. 1st and 10 on the Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down.
Big play there by Fennimore. When you're near the 50-yard line with a 14-point lead, you think you might want to punt the ball away and just pin the opposing team back in their own lineup. But Fennimore risked it there and was able to come up with a nice play to set up keep this possession going down to the 32.
Strong start for the Golden Eagles in this first quarter. We're under 90 seconds to play until the end of the first quarter. 14-0. Fennimore on top. 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Krubel out of the pistol. Krubel with the snap. Quick pass near side. Looking for Yankee Fiedler. Has a blocker on the near sideline. Tiptoes the sideline across the 20. Still on his feet. Escapes 2 more defenders. And he's into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown.
Heck of an effort there by Yankee Fiedler. There was 3 or 4 Mineral Point pointers around him, and he was able to break through all of them and get in the end zone. Heck of an effort there by the young kid.
SJF scoring the touchdown from 32 yards out. A bubble screen. We saw them try and run it earlier. This time he makes the catch, and boy, getting away from about 5 or 6 defenders along the sideline, somehow able to tiptoe the sideline and get past all those defenders to find the end zone for 6. What a play.
Yep, great play by that senior there, and you can tell he was not going to be denied on that. Yeah, he broke several tackles on his way that close to the sideline on the way into the end zone.
High formation look for the 2-point conversion. Krubel under center. And to give up the middle, I believe, to Zanzevich, and he gets popped before he gets to the goal line, and our score remains Fennimore 20, Mineral Point nothing, with 1:03 to play in the first quarter, and all of a sudden a 3-score game. Who would have thought with the matchup last week being as back and forth as that one was? Fennimore really bringing the momentum in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Fennimore seems to have taken last week to heart. They did not like the result of that game, and they are coming out to make a point early in this game, and they're playing very well. Let's see if they can keep it going here for the remainder of this game.
That last touchdown was Sean Yankee Fiedler's 4th touchdown reception of the year. Dawson Krubel's 14th passing. As Colton Tollefson will tee it up for Fennimore. And the Pointers looking to put something together here to close out on a better note in the first quarter. Torrin Bomstad and Grady Finley back to return for the Pointers. Tollefson has it teed up. And here is the ensuing kickoff. Tollefson's kick is a liner, and it's fielded by one of the upbacks, and a reverse to Bomstad across the 30-yard line, and still on his feet. Finally take it down at about the 37. 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Fennimore or Mineral Point will set up shop at their own 32.
Mineral Point, it's not time to panic yet. Still stick with your game plan. You got plenty of time to come back in this game. You just got to start executing a little bit better and get a drive here, and you're kind of right back in this game with a few stops.
Mount City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. First and 10 for Mineral Point. 3 receivers out to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Grady Finley lined up right behind Liam Carey in the pistol look. Liam Carey gives a snap, gives inside to Grady Finley, and Finley is met at the line of scrimmage by 2 Golden Eagles. As that was Rowan Kinney, number 10, the first one to make the tackle. Under 40 seconds left in the quarter, 20-0. Fennimore on top.
Fennimore's defensive line, again, is just doing a good job of clogging those lanes for the Mineral Point running backs and not allowing a whole lot there.
Football's at the 37-yard line. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Carey at the snap. A give to Grady Finley. Finley trying to bounce it to the outside, and another gang tackle on the far side of the field for Fennimore as the Golden Eagles defense coming out to play, and that is the final play of the first quarter. Through 1, Fennimore 20, Mineral Point nothing. Second quarter coming up next on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 3.
Like any business, success in dairying is often determined by who you know rather than what you know. That's why it's good to know the pros at Fuller's, your Gia dealer. Fuller's is your source for the automated milking systems line and all of the latest in automated milking systems. Make your operation more efficient and profitable and get the most out of your dairy herd by partnering with the experts at Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your local Gia dealer in Lancaster, Richland Center, and Fuller'sMilkerCenter.com.
Fly to Buke and get a $100 rebate. Buy round-trip airfare by December 31st and fly from the Dubuque Regional Airport any dates you choose. Dubuque's daily connections with Chicago O'Hare include an early morning departure and early evening arrival. Easily connect to hundreds of popular destinations, getting to many by early afternoon. The Dubuque Regional Airport. Closer, quicker, easier. Learn more at flydbq.com.
In Game 3.
Fennimore 20, Mineral Point nothing. We start the second quarter for the Rock at Fennimore High School. It is 3rd and 8 for Mineral Point. 4 wide receiver set, one back in the backfield. That's Grady Finley. Liam Carey waiting for the snap. Someone from Fennimore jumped, and a Pink's penalty flags from the Mineral Point side. Pink's penalty flag will make it 3rd and 3 at the 42-yard line.
They just got a little too amped up there, and Mineral Point doing a good job kind of doing a long count there, and Fennimore was jumped off sides.
Get some shoebox scoreboard updates in a little bit here as a number of our games have gone to the end of the first quarter as well. 20-0 the score here. Mineral Point. Third play of this drive. 3rd and 3 at their own 47-yard line. They have to get it across, or beg your pardon, the 42-yard line. And a quick pass to the near side. Pass is caught by Cole Ripp, and Ripp knocked out of bounds along the Fennimore sideline across the 50, and that is enough for a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. 1st and 10 for Mineral Point. Looks like it will be spotted at the Fennimore 46-yard line.
Another quick hitch pattern there by Mineral Point. Nice completion to get about an 11-yard gain there for a first down, keep this drive going.
Speedy Mart, save 3 cents when you purchase your gas with cash. Speedy Mart in Fennimore. And by Farmers Implement in Mineral Point, congratulates the Mineral Point football team on a great season. At Farmers Implement in Mineral Point, service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right for Mineral Point on 1st and 10. Fake inside, throw over the middle. Pass is caught by Bomstad at the 40-yard line. He takes off, still along the sideline, angling towards the pylon, tiptoes in for a Northland Buildings touchdown. A 46-yard catch and run for Torrin Bomstad from the left side slot. Caught the pass over the middle and turned on the Jets, making defenders miss. Mineral Point on the board, 20-6 the new score with 11:45 to play in quarter number 2.
Kind of an RPO look and good read there by Carey to pull that ball and throw it there to Bomstad, who, yeah, like you said, caught the ball in the middle and was off to the races down the sideline for that touchdown.
Torrin Bomstad's 5th receiving touchdown and 15th passing touchdown for Liam Carey. Carey lining up for the extra point. Carey 26 of 27 on PAT attempts on the year. And the point and flush extra point, end over end. It's through the uprights and good, and just lands in front of my car, which is a good sight to see. 20-7, the new score. After the Northland Buildings touchdown by Torrin Bomstad and Liam Carey's point and flush extra point. Ensuing kickoff coming up next on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 4.
If you're upgrading a home or business, call the trusted pros at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. They offer a premium selection of CHI overhead doors combining style, durability, and security for both residential and commercial properties. Need rain gutters to protect your building from water damage? Carey's has you covered there too. Learn more at Carey'sGuttersandDoors.com. They sell the best and service the rest. Get the quality you deserve at Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, Belmont, and Prairie du Chien.
What happened to customer service? You're expected to check yourself out at the store, you're expected to pay 3% extra to use credit cards, and you're expected to unbox your own mattress and set it up yourself. Well, not at Dubuque Mattress. Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress. At Dubuque Mattress, customer service is alive and well. When you buy a mattress from us, we take care of everything. We deliver, set up, and get rid of the old mattress for you. We don't charge for using credit cards, and we offer free financing. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
In Game 4.
Liam Carey has the ball teed up for Mineral Point for the ensuing kickoff. 20-7, Fennimore on top of Mineral Point, and the kickoff will be fielded by number 4, Sean Yankee Fiedler, and he's got a head of steam, and he breaks away across the 50, 40, one man to beat, 20, 10, End zone. Touchdown, Fennimore. Special teams, a factor tonight. A kickoff return for touchdown, and the Eagles steal the momentum back 26-7 with 11:32 to play in the second quarter. What a kickoff return by Sean Yankee Fiedler.
A good job there by Yankee Fiedler. He kind of started out the play, hesitated a little bit, let the block set up, and there was a huge hole for him to run through, and he went untouched. Not quite sure of the yardage there, but that was a long touchdown run to give the momentum right back to Fennimore after a nice quick drive by Mineral Point to get a little bit of momentum on their side and get them back in the game. Fennimore quickly takes that momentum away.
26-7. Fennimore on top, and the Golden Eagles lining up for the 2-point conversion. 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Ryder Zanzavich, the running back, to the right side of Dawson Krubel. And they give an end around to Reese Kelly, and he's got some room, and he angles towards the pylon. He is in for the 2-point conversion. So Sean Yankee Fiedler finding the end zone for the second time. He had a receiving touchdown earlier. Just had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and Reese Kelly into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, 28-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point in our Division 6 Level 1 playoff. My, oh my, what a strong showing by Fennimore tonight.
Yeah, Fennimore's looking very good. Just when you thought Mineral Point might have a little momentum on their side to kind of crawl back in this game, they find a very quick answer. And Sean Yankee Fiedler, the senior, is showing that he does not want his senior season to end, and he is playing lights out so far today. He had a heck of an effort on his receiving touchdown early in the game, and then that nice long touchdown run for that kickoff.
Early candidate for Herms's Ace Hardware MVP of the game. Also coming up, the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. West End Salvage of Lancaster sees Junkyard Joe Krantz and the West End Salvage team for recycling, as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster. Fennimore has the ball teed up. And now Mineral Point trying to steal the momentum back as Tollison's kick is going to be squibbed and fielded and downed at about the 31-yard line, as it was number 6, Brett Bossert, just falling on the ball for Mineral Point. And now the Pointers had a nice drive, scoring on 4 plays, a 46-yard touchdown reception from Liam Carey to Torin Bomstad, but now fresh off that kickoff return by Fennimore, yeah, the momentum's still on your side, but essentially that score just negated what you just did.
Yep, if you're Mineral Point, you just got to realize what you just did on the offensive side of the ball the last possession is exactly what you need to do. Stick with your game plan. Keep going there. You'll have to get some defensive stops at some point here, but you gotta get in the end zone here if you're Mineral Point.
11:31 to play in the second quarter. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Mineral Point in possession of the football, trailing 28-7. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Running back Grady Finley to the right side. Dropping back to pass is Carey. Carey with some time. Going to fire a pass down the near sideline. It's going to fall short, incomplete of his intended receiver, number 19, Memphis Burkhalter, but there is a Pink's penalty flag in the backfield.
I believe it's going to be wholly on Mineral Point.
It is a hold, and that'll be a Pink's penalty flag to back him up 10. That'll put the football at the 21-yard line. The Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville offers a history of caring and understands that each family is unique and will honor personal requests and tradition. Matt and Laura Melby at Melby Funeral Home and Crematory of Platteville. And by Northland Buildings, for a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland. Contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. And Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque, powering our audio stream, Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. 1st and 20 after the Pink's penalty flag. 2 receivers again to each side of the formation for Mineral Point, and Carey looking to get the snap. Drops back to pass. Throws over the far side of the field, and it's caught on a slant by number 18, Hudson Schrader, and he brings it out past the original line of scrimmage to the 35-yard line. Nice gain on that play. And the Pointers coming to the line of scrimmage quickly. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Carey out of the shotgun once again. Carey fakes inside to Finley. Now pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. Looking for Bossert on the slant, but a great reaction by the defensive line for Fennimore, and I believe it was number 9, Jacob Kretschmann, getting his paw to smack the ball down, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 for Mineral Point. 10:56 to play in the second quarter. Fennimore up 28-7.
A great play there by Kretschmann to get his hands up. Knew he wasn't going to get to the quarterback and saw that he was trying to get a quick slant there. Got his hands up to knock the ball down.
Clare Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Clare Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Trips to the right, one receiver out to the left. Pistol look again for Mineral Point. Fake inside to Finley, and Carey trying to take off with it. Escapes one defender, but can't escape the next two as Ryder Zanzevich and SJF close in to make the tackle for Fennimore. And it's going to be 4th and short, and Mineral Point quickly out to the line of scrimmage.
Mineral Point trying to get some quick plays here and get some momentum.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Grady Finley to the right side of Carey. Carey looking back to the Mineral Point sideline for instruction, and now Finley switches to the left. Carey takes the snap. It's a direct quarterback keeper, and I believe he's turned away. He didn't get the first down. Sean Yonke Fiedler breaking through to make the stop. Turnover on downs, 1st and 10. Fennimore leading 28-7 with 10:17 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're good. Refs are going to bring out the measurement, but he certainly looks short from here.
Yeah, it definitely looks short as we are directly on that 40-yard line.
It doesn't look particularly close. I'm not sure why they necessarily need to bring the sticks out to measure here, but we could be wrong.
Well, the officials are going to switch football, so it looks like it is Fennimore ball. Now, they will bring the sticks out just to make it official, and yeah, it looks well short by about 1.5 yards. Yep, so the Fennimore defense stands tall, turnover on downs, and Fennimore takes over with 10:17 to play in the second quarter, leading 28-7, and a golden opportunity to really put the pressure on the Pointers.
Yep, if you're Fennimore here, you want to try to get this one in the end zone, and then the pressure's really on Mineral Point. They might have to start changing their game plan to really go up into this hurry-up offense that we're trying to do here in this last possession, and their backs will be very up against the wall if Fennimore is able to punch us from the end zone.
1st and 10 for Fennimore at the Mineral Point 41-yard line. Far side hash mark, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Dawson Krubel out of the pistol. Reese Kelly lined up right behind him. Slot receiver from the right side goes in motion, and a give to Kelly. Kelly up the middle, across the 35, 30, angling towards the sideline, 20, angling towards the end zone, the 10, the 5, the end zone. Touchdown, Fennimore. A 41-yard touchdown scamper for Reese Kelly, his second rushing touchdown of the game. Makes it 34-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point, and Fennimore came to play in this first half. My goodness, what a clinic.
Yeah, Fennimore is looking very good. They certainly did not like that result from last week as they suffered the loss to the same Mineral Point team, and they came out with their entire team on fire here. They're looking incredible so far.
Two-point conversion attempt, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Slot receiver from the right side going in motion. And a fade pass to the near side looking for Jude Kinney. Jump ball, pulls it down for the 2-point conversion.
What a well-placed ball there. That ball was right where the only person that was going to get that was Jude Kinney, and he came down with a play on a heck of a catch there to get that 2-point conversion.
And Jude Kinney showing the hops to pull the ball down over his defender. 36-7. Fennimore taking it to Mineral Point with 10:08 to play in the second quarter.
Certainly, I don't think this was this game that we were anticipating coming into this one, but Fennimore looks to be trying to make a point here, and they certainly want to extend their season, and they are looking very good so far right here.
Man, oh man, what a showing by Fennimore so far tonight. Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herms's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. My Russell office is here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Proudly serving southern Wisconsin. Russell Law offices. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist supports that Brian's gets the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Tollefson with the kickoff for Fennimore. It's a squibber that will roll out of bounds at the Mineral Point 30-yard line. And we'll see if they're going to just take the field position or make Fennimore re-kick, and it's going to be Mineral Point football, believe, at the 35-yard line if they assess 5 more yards on the penalty.
Looks like they're going to re-kick.
Oh, they're going to make them kick it again. If I were working with Wally Troughton, he would say I would make the team kick off again. And
I'm not sure I would at this point.
Right.
I think you want to get the ball. I mean, the worst case scenario here would be Fennimore tries that little squib kick again and they recover the ball. At least that way you'd know you'd have the ball to try to get some points on the board here. But we'll see how this works out. I'm no coach. I'm just a color commentator up here, you know.
I just work here, you know. Tollefson will have the ball on the tee once again. Kicking this one off from the 35-yard line. Gives the signal, and we'll see what type of kick he goes with this time. And this is a high-end overhand kick that will be fielded at the 15-yard line. This is Brett Bossert. Bossert with some blockers. Now angles back to the near side across the 35-yard line, trying to lay a stiff arm, but gets tackled in the open field by number 9, Jacob Kretschmann. And 1st and 10 for Mineral Point at their own 37-yard line. Fennimore with all the momentum in this game, 36-7 the score, exactly 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. On our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Laley Center Monroe, and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. 2 receivers each side of the formation for Mineral Point. Liam Carey in at quarterback, Grady Finley, the running back, right behind him out of the pistol. Carey takes a snap, fakes inside, now trying to bounce it to the left. And Tollefson there to make the initial hit. And then finishing off the tackle, I believe, was number 10, Rowan Kinney for Fennimore. Another tackle for loss by the Fennimore defense. It'll be 2nd and 11, football back at the 37. Previous line of scrimmage was the 38.
The Fennimore defensive line is still doing a great job of staying home, not allowing running lanes for Mineral Point. And at some point here, Mineral Point might have to somewhat abandon the running game and go strictly to the pass. There's just not a whole lot of room running right now.
4 wide receivers set again for Mineral Point. 2 receivers each side. Liam Carey out of the pistol, fakes inside to Grady Finley, rolling right. Now passes to the opposite side of the field. Pass caught by Finley and a big pop on the far side of the field by Casey Drazen. Couldn't take Finley down initially, but Finley ate that hit and then got knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field at about the 44-yard line, and they spot it back at the 43. Gain of about 6 on the play. Sets up 3rd and about 6 to go with 9:06 to play in the second quarter. 36-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point.
Finley was able to take that hit and keep his feet for a little bit and get about another yard or 2 before going down, but that was a heck of a hit there.
2 receivers each side again on 3rd and 6. Quick pass far side, and pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Hudson Schrader on the far side, but the Fennimore defender there to make the hit as the ball got there. It'll be 4th and 6 for Mineral Point. 9:03 left in the second. And we'll see what the Pointers decide to do. They went for it on 4th down on their last drive and turned it over on downs. Similar field position here, but it looks like they will punt it away.
But their QB Carey is their punter, so you could never know here.
Sean Yankee Fiedler, the only returner back for Fennimore. Liam Carey with the punt, and he gets a high spiral punt, and calling fair catch is Sean Yankee Fiedler at about the Fennimore 20-yard line, and that's where the Golden Eagles will set up shop, leading 36-7 with 8:55 remaining in the second quarter. And as you alluded, Brad, this was not the type of game that I think any of us were expecting, just given the way the teams played a week ago.
Yep, when you see this, what the score was, 39-36, 7 days ago, you kind of anticipated it being a close game here. But Fennimore is certainly sending a message early in this game that last week possibly could have been a fluke, or otherwise Fennimore corrected a lot of things this week in practice and is looking very good right now.
1st and 10 for Fennimore at their own 19-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Krubel out of the pistol. Reese Kelly to his left, and a fade pass to the near side, looking for Jude Kinney, and off his fingertips and incomplete. He was wide open along the near sideline, and if he would have caught that ball, he would have been gone for 6. But an incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10.
Yep, just off the fingertips. Did a nice little kind of a fake bubble screen to Yankee Fiedler, I believe, which they had success with earlier in this game. Sent the guy deep just off his fingertips, and as he said, he probably would have been in the end zone. Number 19 for Mineral Point, Memphis Burkhalter, would have been the only guy that could have caught him there.
Same formation, 2 receivers to each side on 2nd and 10 at the 19-yard line. Yankee Fiedler going in motion from the left side slot. And a give inside to Reese Kelly, and Reese Kelly taking off again across the 30 to the 40-yard line, now to the 50, far side, gets tackled out of bounds at the Mineral Point bench, and a Pinks penalty flag on the far side of the field. So we'll see if this run stands or if additional yardage might be assessed, because it looked like a hit came in late.
Looks like it's on Fennimore.
Might be a block in the back. See what the official signals here. It's a personal foul against Fennimore. And it looks like they'll take it back to the original line of scrimmage and assess the penalty from there. McNett Electric in Belmont can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call and ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont.
Looks like it was actually from the spot, so Fennimore does get a first down off of that. At about the 31-yard line, I think.
So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. 2 receivers again to each side of the formation. And a give inside to Ryder Zanzevich, and Zanzevich tackled at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of room to run up the middle. And it will be 2nd down and about 9 as I believe Liam Carey came in from the safety spot to make the tackle.
Good job there by Mineral Point defense getting to the running lanes there and bringing Zanzevich down just about at the line of scrimmage, just short gain there.
Fennimore breaks the huddle. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Reese Kelly in the backfield with Dawson Krubel. It'll be 2nd and 10. Fennimore defense, or the Mineral Point defense, trying to get set. Quick pass to Reese Kelly, and Kelly trying to make a couple defenders miss, but a gang tackle in the backfield by the Pointers will end any opportunity for Reese Kelly to advance up the field. Tackle made by number 9, or beg your pardon, number 2. That's Cole Ripp. And it will be 3rd and long for Fennimore. 7:25 left in the second quarter. 36-7. Fennimore on top. 3rd down coming up for the Golden Eagles.
The first time Fennimore has kind of been met with some resistance by this Mineral Point defense. Fennimore's on a 3rd and long here. We'll see if they try to stick on the run with the running game, or if they try to try a little bit of a deeper pass.
7 minutes left in the second quarter. 3rd and 12 coming up for Fennimore at their own 30. Krubel with 2 backs in the backfield. Krubel dropping back to pass. Going to fire a pass to the far side, and it's caught by Jude Kinney, and he is down at the 40, just short of the first down marker. It'll be 4th and 1. And big decision coming up for Fennimore, I think. I would imagine they're going to go for it, though.
Yeah, I think 4th and 1, very short here. I think you'd go for it here, especially with the lead that they have. We're going to get a measurement here just to see how close it is. But a lot of Fennimore wide receivers that are in that same area on that play. You got to wonder if somebody wasn't necessarily where they were supposed to be or what happened there. But nice gain by Fennimore regardless there for to set up this, what looks to be a 4th and short. We'll see here shortly.
Let's see what the chain gang has to say about it. Come up for the measurement, and it looks from here. It is right on the football.
Is he going to bring out the index card? He's getting a very
If he's
good
short,
look at
it's by like half a chain link, and the official says it is a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down.
Didn't get it by much, but
it's a game of inches, right?
Yeah,
My goodness. So 1st and 10 for Fennimore, extending their drive. Play number 6 coming up with 6:29 left in the second quarter, already up 36-7. This is a Fennimore team that lost on a last-second field goal to Mineral Point a week ago. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Grubel out of the pistol. Reese Kelly in the backfield, and a give to Kelly, and Kelly breaks away from one defender on the far side, and now breaking away from more across the 40 to the 35-yard line, and gets tackled down at about the 33-yard line. Another big run for Reese Kelly as he is stacking up the rushing yards. 1st and 10 for Fennimore on the Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. They'll spot the football at the 34.
And Reese Kelly's having himself a heck of a first half, along with Yankee Fiedler for Fennimore, and they seem to be carrying the load right now for Fennimore and are a big reason why the score is what it is.
Breckler Insurance Group for all of your insurance in EC Steve Lewandowski at Breckler Insurance in Fennimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. 1st and 10 for Fennimore, 5:37 and counting left in the second quarter, 36-7. Golden Eagles on top of the Pointers. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Pistol look again. Yankee Fiedler going in motion from the right side slot. Fake inside to Zanzevich, and now an end around for Yankee Fiedler. And he's got some room across the 20 to the 10, and a great block, and into the end zone for a Northland Buildings touchdown. SJF with the hat trick in the first half. Rushing, receiving, and a kickoff return for a touchdown for Sean Yankee Fiedler.
And what a heck of a first half here by him. Maybe we'll see him try to throw one here before halftime of the second half and just really get all the ways that he can score a touchdown, because he is having a heck of a ball game.
42-7 with 5:18 left in the second quarter as the route is on here at the Rock in Fennimore. 4 wide receiver set for the 2-point conversion. Ryder Zanzevich, the running back to the left of Krubel. Snap to Krubel, looking to his left. Now rolling right, going to fire a pass to the far side. It is caught for the 2-point conversion, and the far side official says it's incomplete, but there is a Pink's penalty flag in the secondary.
I think he was just signaling that it does not count. I thought it was clearly completed,
but
right. There's a penalty that negates it, so kind of a weird way to signal that, but I think that's the point he was trying to get across.
But it does look like Fennimore is going to have another attempt at the 2-point conversion as the offense is still on the field.
Offensive pass interference, it looks like. Maybe a little pick play to get him that wide open after the little confusion there.
Well, it appears to be on... Oh, it is on Fennimore, so they're going to back him up. I thought they were back at the original line of scrimmage. So Fennimore will attempt the point and flush 2-point conversion from the 18-yard line, which Fennimore has already had more than enough explosive plays. They probably have something drawn up here. Zanzevich, the running back again, to the left of Krubel. 2 receivers to the left. 2 receivers stacked tight to the right. Snap to Krubel, dropping back to pass. Fade pass near side, looking for Kenny. Jump ball, and the pass is incomplete. Fennimore fans want a Pink's penalty flag. They're going to say it's incomplete, and the score remains 42-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point with 5:18 left in the first half. We're back after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 5.
We know that good health is your #1 priority, and at Grant Regional Health Center, it's ours too. Whether it's a mammogram, lung screening, or colonoscopy, we make it easier than ever to get screened for your peace of mind. And best of all, at Grant Regional, we offer quick scheduling and less travel, so you can focus on what really matters, your health. Schedule your screening today at 608-723-2131, accepting Medical Associates, Dean, and Quartz Insurance to name a few. Grant Regional Health Center. Better health starts here.
Join Tyler Dictanis and Steve Prestigard as the Platteville Pioneers take on the Wisconsin Badgers for the Guarding Against Cancer game. Listen on X1071 and X1071.com Wednesday, October 29th from the Kohl Center in Madison as the Guard brothers face each other to kick off their basketball seasons. Pregame starts at 6:40 with tip-off at 7 p.m. Special thanks to our sponsors: Pioneer Ford, Pizzeria Uno, the Annex in the Back Bar, McNett Electric, Steve's Pizza, State Farm Insurance Agent Jordan Holthouse, Southwest Health, and Helker Jewelry. Don't miss the Guarding Against Cancer game October 29th on X1071.
In Game 5.
Cole Paus returns the ensuing kickoff for Mineral Point to the 30-yard line. And we have a running clock here in the second quarter. 42-7, Fennimore on top of Mineral Point at our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Lely Center Monroe and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Two receivers to the right side of the formation, two to the left for Mineral Point as the Pointers trying to find something to go right offensively. Liam Carey with the snap, quick pass near side, caught by Burkhalter, and he's shoved out of bounds at the first down marker. I believe he's got enough for Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. It's a gain of 11. First and 10 for Mineral Point at the Fennimore 41-yard line.
Nice little kind of out pattern there. Nice easy throw for Carey. Nice completion to get the chains moving.
Game tonight brought to you by WCC Brands Custom Apparel and Kieler and at WCC-brands.com, the Highland State Bank of Highland, and at HighlandStateBank.net, and Cole Acres Golf and Grill in Cuba City, and at ColeAcresGolfandGrill.com. Three receivers to the left, one to the right on first and 10. Football at the 41-yard line. Liam Carey fakes inside to Grady Finley, trying to bounce it to the left, has a couple blockers, still on his feet at the first down marker across the 50, and tackled down. Should be right at the first down marker. They're going to say he's down just beyond the 50-yard line, and it'll be second and short after a gain of 9 on the play.
Nice little hole there for Carey to run through and get a nice 9-yard gain there to set up a nice short, second and short here for Mineral Point.
3:35 left in the first half, 42-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point. Pointers on offense, working from left to right. Three receivers to the right side of the formation, one to the left. Fake inside to Finley, and Carey with pressure coming, and a Sups.com sack by the Golden Eagles. Number 34, Logan Kessler coming in and got Carey from the blind side. Loss of yardage, third and long coming up for Mineral Point as the football spotted at the Pointers' 44-yard line. Loss of 6.
Yeah, he was able to come off the right side there and Carey's blind side, and Carey didn't have a real chance to get out of that one and took the sack for a loss of about 6.
Gorgon Funeral Services, caring for families since 1916. Gorgon Funeral Services in Dodgeville and Mineral Point. And by Applied Micro, your computer and networking specialist in Platteville, Dodgeville, and appliedmicro.biz. Third and 7 at the 44-yard line. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Liam Carey out of the pistol. Carey dropping back to pass. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. Pass on the near sideline is caught by Bossert. And he has a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down as he is down at the Fennimore 44-yard line.
Nice little 12-yard gain there. Nice job by Carey sticking in the pocket. Took another hit after throwing that one. So he's doing a good job taking these hits and still making good throws.
Sullivan Auctioneers and Big Iron Realty. If you have livestock, farmland, or buildings to sell, call Darryl Krapp. Visit bigiron.com to learn more. 2:04 and counting in the second quarter. 42-7. Fennimore on top. Pointers with play number 5 of this drive. Liam Carey dropping back to pass out of the 4 wide receiver set. Rolling to his right, buying time. Fires a pass near side. Pass is, they're going to say, caught by Bossert, and then a Pink's penalty flag after the play.
I think they ruled it incomplete, I believe. but still a penalty on the play. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the way the official was standing, it looked like that they were spotting the football. But now the official's convening at the Fennimore 44-yard line.
So the clock's still running here. I know it's running clock, but I think they'd want to pause it a little bit if the refs are kind of holding this up, trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, but Mineral Point does take a timeout. It's their first timeout of the first half. And it looks like a penalty against Mineral Point. I missed what the signal was. I wonder if it was a personal foul penalty or something like that, because the flag came well after the play.
Yep, came late. You wonder if kid didn't say something that he shouldn't have and got flagged for it.
Rosemeyer Wealth Management will design a plan specific to your retirement goals. The experts at Rosemeyer Management will answer all your questions, even if you don't know what questions to ask. Check out their website at rosemeyermg.com. And by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster, whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service, because at Les Mack, you always get more from Les. So the Pinks penalty moves the football back to the Fennimore side, or the Mineral Point side of the 50, to the 41-yard line. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Coming out of the Mineral Point timeout. 1:16 remaining until halftime. 42-7. Fennimore on top. Quick pass to the near side. And it is caught by Memphis Burkhalter across the 45-yard line, just shy of the 50 to the 48. Gain of 7 on that play.
Yep, nice catch there to go down and grab that one off just before it hit the ground in Mineral Points in the hurry-up offense here.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Carey driving back to pass. Pressure coming. Ball's on the turf and recovered by Fennimore, but a Pinks penalty flag in the backfield.
And the ref actually ruled that incomplete as well, so no fumble on the play and incomplete pass.
That was very Tom Brady rule looking.
Definitely a tuck rule type play there, and Mineral Point got the benefit of the doubt on that one for an incomplete pass, and we'll see what the penalty is here.
It should be 4th and 19. And we'll see what the penalty is. It's a hold.
So they're going to take the yards and make it go back to 3rd down, I believe is what the ref just signaled there.
I think Fennimore banking on better field position after taking that penalty. And that puts the football back to the Mineral Point 37-yard line.
I have that as Mineral Point's 6th penalty in the first half for 50 yards, and penalties can be a reason of why you get some struggles here in the postseason, can be a difference of winning and losing here.
Yeah, they've been behind the chains quite a bit tonight because of those penalties too. 2 receivers each side of the formation on 3rd and 30. Liam Carey dropping back to pass. Going to heave one down the middle of the field. Jump ball. And it is high pointed and picked off by Sean Yankee Fiedler. And Fiedler bringing it down the far sideline to the 40. Angling back to the middle of the field. Tackled across the 35 to the 34. And a Pinks penalty flag for the Mineral Point sideline.
Yankee Fiedler making his presence known again.
My
He
goodness.
has been all over this field.
I think he's officially locked the Hearns Ace Hardware MVP of the game. And the clock winding, and that should be the final play.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to take us to halftime as the refs are still trying to sort out the penalty on this last play, and I don't think they're going to get a decision here before time runs out.
So at halftime, Fennimore dominating Mineral Point. Fennimore 42, Mineral Point 7. However, Coach Tyrell Rosemeyer talking with one of the officials on the near sideline. And are we going to halftime or are we staying on the field? It looks like we are.
So we're going to halftime.
Going to halftime, and we're going to close it out on another high note. for the Fennimore Golden Eagles as they are out to a 42-7 lead through one half of play in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. Coming up next, the McNutt Electric halftime report. We'll check in on the Shoebox scoreboard. Also get you the Millie's Diner halftime fix. That's all straight ahead right here on X1071 WPVL FM Platteville and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Halftime 3 minutes.
Hello, Ben here from Darlington Family Dental. Your smile is as important to us as it is to you. Give us a call and schedule a consultation to figure out if clear aligners might be right for you. The consultation is free. Zero interest financing is available. This solution for your smile might be more cost-effective than you think. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Trade out and trade up with the Gia Milking Performance promotion at Fuller's Milker Center. For a limited time, trade out your old milking units and liners and immediately benefit by trading up to a better milking performance at substantial savings. Choose from the Gia IQ Milking Unit or the Classic 300E Milking Unit, both available with a GQ liner package. Plus, save if you need to swap Jetter cups too. Contact Fuller's Milker Center, LLC, your Gia dealer in Lancaster and Richland Center to find out how you can save big trading out and trading up on new Gia milking equipment technology.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
Southwest Tech in Fennimore celebrates Wisconsin Manufacturing Month. Employers in Southwest Wisconsin are eager to hire skilled workers in manufacturing, and the Industrial Mechanic program at Southwest Tech equips students with technical expertise in areas like mechanical drive systems, electrical systems, basic welding, machining, and more. Graduates of this program can either enter the workforce or continue their education in the 2-year electromechanical technology program. Apply today at swtc.edu. Southwest Tech, education as unique as you.
Join Tyler Dictanis and Steve Prestigard as the Platteville Pioneers take on the Wisconsin Badgers for the Guarding Against Cancer game. Listen on X1071 and X1071.com Wednesday, October 29th from the Kohl Center in Madison as the Guard brothers face each other to kick off their basketball seasons. Pregame starts at 6:40 with tip-off at 7 p.m. Special thanks to our sponsors: Pioneer Ford, Pizzeria Uno, The Annex in the Back Bar, McNutt Electric, Steve's Pizza, State Farm Insurance Agent Jordan Holthouse, Southwest Health, and Helker Jewelry. Don't miss the Guarding Against Cancer game October 29th on X1071.
Halftime 3 minutes.
Great Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Laley Center Monroe and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. We are at halftime at The Rock in Fennimore High School, and the Fennimore hometown crowd embracing that this is their first playoff game since 2018, and the Golden Eagles have shown up 42-7. Fennimore leading Mineral Point at the half. This is our McNutt Electric halftime report brought to you by McNutt Electric in Belmont. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Fennimore got things started early and quickly with a 67-yard run by Reese Kelly that set up a 2-yard touchdown run for Ryder Zanzavich. The 2-point conversion was no good. 6-0 Fennimore right out of the gate with 11:05 to play in the first quarter. Mineral Point would punt it away after 5 plays on their first possession. Fennimore would score again 7 plays later as Reese Kelly scored from 15 yards out. The 2-point conversion was good. 14-0 was the score. Mineral Point would punt it away again, and then Fennimore would score another touchdown, a Sean Yankee Fiedler 32-yard touchdown reception to make it 20-0, and that was our score. at the end of the first quarter. Mineral Point's only touchdown came on the drive that bridged the first and second quarters, a 46-yard touchdown catch and run for Torrin Bomstad. Extra point was made by Liam Carey. 20-7 was our score at that point. And then immediately after that, Sean Yankee Fiedler had a kickoff return for a touchdown. The two-point conversion was good. 28-0 the score with 11:31 to play in the second quarter. Mineral Point would turn it over on downs at their own 41-yard line 4 plays later, and then Reese Kelly would score from 41 yards out on a touchdown run. 36-7 was our score at that point after a Jude Kenny catch for the two-point conversion. Next drive for Mineral Point resulted in a turnover, or a punt, I should say, and then Fennimore took over at their own 19-yard line. Sean Yankee Fiedler finishing off the drive 7 plays later with a 34-yard touchdown run to make it 42-7. Mineral Point had the last possession before halftime, and it ended with a Sean Yankee Fiedler interception. So Sean Yankee Fiedler responsible for a lot on both sides of the ball. Reese Kelly doing a lot of work on the ground game. And really what this boils down to, Brad, as Coach Tyrell Rosemeyer mentioned during our pregame interview, if we block and we tackle, we win. They are blocking, they are tackling, and the playmakers are making big-time plays here tonight in Fennimore.
Yeah, Sean Yankee Fiedler's been all over the field on both sides of the ball. I don't know what else he can do at this point.
Right. He's playing out of his mind. It's video game numbers. Yeah,
he's having a heck of a game, and then, as you said, Reese Kelly is having a heck of a first half running the ball. I have him for 7 carries for 178 yards. That's over 25 yards a carry. I think you'll take that every single day of the week. Then Yankee Fiedler is also has 3 carries for 32 yards. Zanzevich has 3 carries for 6 yards, and Krubel has 1 carry for 3 yards for 14 carries total as a team for 219 yards, over 15 yards a carry for Fennimore in the first half. Krubel also went 4 for 7 for 69 yards and a touchdown throwing. You have Kinney with 2 catches for 31 yards, Crushman with 1 for 6 yards, and Yankee Fiedler, that 1 catch for 32 yards and another touchdown, along with a kickoff return for a touchdown, an interception by him. So the Fennimore's offense is looking very good for 288 yards total in the first half by my unofficial stats. So they came out looking fantastic here in the first half. If you're Coach Rosemeyer at halftime, you had to feel very good about what you're seeing here. Obviously some very good adjustments made by that coaching staff during this week after suffering that loss to Mineral Point just 7 days ago, and they are shutting down Mineral Point very well as well. Mineral Point's being held to as a team for 12 carries for 21 yards rushing, 8 of 13 for Carey passing for 111 yards and a touchdown with that pick at the end of the half there. So only 132 yards of total offense by Mineral Point. I'm sure that's not what they want to see in that first half. So Fennimore is definitely dominating this game in every aspect of the game, that offensive, defensively, and special teams. Seemed like special teams maybe last week was leaning more towards Mineral Point, with Mineral Point getting an onside kick and returning a kickoff for their own last week, but Fennimore flipped the switch on that this week.
Yeah, let's talk about the Millie's Diner halftime fix brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville. Stop in and see what they're fixing for you. For Fennimore, not a whole lot that you have to fix. I think it's just about staying healthy as you can, because you're likely going to end up playing Darlington a week from tonight. We'll see what the shoebox scoreboard has to say about that, although I think Darlington's not having a problem with Melrose and Mindoro. But for Mineral Point, we talked about it right before the halftime break about how many Pink's penalty flags have come at inopportune times that have put them behind the sticks, some really predictable play calls, and, even in, run plays, not a lot of good blocking up front. The Fennimore defense able to make their moves. Passing game, they've been spotty. You had the big touchdown catch and run by Bomstad, but not much else to speak of offensively for Mineral Point, and they got to jumpstart something here if they want to finish this game and the season on a high note.
Yeah, if you're Mineral Point, there's certainly a lot of things you got to fix at halftime. First, you got to tell the kids not to lose their cool. You don't want to get any more of those unsportsmanlike penalties in the second half just for foolish things. But yeah, you certainly want to tighten it up. As you said, they really only had that one kind of explosive play in the first half. It was kind of actually back-to-back explosive plays with an 11-yard pass and then a 46-yard pass for that touchdown. And that's kind of all their offense has been in the first half. So you got to find some way to get some sort of momentum going in the second half to take something into what appears that they're going to be heading into their offseason. They are a young team, so there's certainly learning points they can take from this. But they certainly want to get something going in in the second half. And if you're Fennimore, health, I think, has got to be the big key here. They were rolling early in the season, then kind of had some injuries roll up on them, and has kind of struggled a little bit down the line. I'm sure they're not going to use injuries as an excuse, but you certainly want to get as many people as you can from that first half into the potential matchup versus Darlington, as healthy as can possibly be here. So we'll see how much, if any, those starters play in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the second half. Again, our halftime score 42-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point at the half. Let's do a check on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. At halftime, Potosi Cassville with a 35-0 lead on Cambria Friesland. That's a 3-6 matchup in Division 7. And Durand with a 14-7 lead on River Valley at the half. On 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, Amherst with a 22-7 lead on the Arrows. At halftime, Lodi with a 7-0 lead on the Platteville Hillman on AM 1590 WPVL. Prairie du Chien with a 29-0 lead on Westfield. That was with a minute to play in the second quarter. I believe that one's at the half. Halftime on Super Hits 106 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Blackhawk Warren 8, River Ridge 6.
That's a tight ball game there.
Intriguing score, especially with River Ridge without Brandon Davis due to that broken collarbone. Reese Drew, now the new quarterback for the Wolves, and tight ball game early on in South Wayne. As we said, the halftime score here, 42-7. Fennimore on top of Mineral Point. This has been the McNutt Electric Halftime Report, brought to you by McNutt Electric in Belmont. The second half coming up next on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 6.
If summer travel has worn down your Toyota's tires, now is a great time to replace those treads during the tire savings event at Anderson Weber Toyota. In the month of October, buy 3 tires and get the 4th one for only $1. All tires purchased at Anderson Weber qualify for free tire rotations for the life of the tires. Restrictions apply. See Anderson Weber Toyota for details. Buy 3 tires for your Toyota, get the 4th for only $1 during the Toyota Tire Savings event only during October at Anderson Weber Toyota next to Target in Dubuque. Anderson Weber Toyota, when your tires are ready.
Join Tyler Dictanis and Steve Prestigard as the Platteville Pioneers take on the Wisconsin Badgers for the Guarding Against Cancer game. Listen on X1071 and X1071.com Wednesday, October 29th from the Kohl Center in Madison as the Guard brothers face each other to kick off their basketball seasons. Pre-game starts at 6:40 with tip-off at 7 p.m. Special thanks to our sponsors: Pioneer Ford, Pizzeria Uno the Annex in the Back Bar, McNutt Electric, Steve's Pizza, State Farm Insurance Agent Jordan Holthouse, Southwest Health, and Helker Jewelry. Don't miss the Guarding Against Cancer game October 29th on X1071.
In Game 6.
Wrapping up the McNutt Electric halftime report brought to you by McNutt Electric in Belmont. 42-7 the halftime score from the Rock at Fennimore High School. The Golden Eagles all over the Mineral Point Pointers in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. Our game today brought to you by Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control with over 40 years of professional, friendly service. By Pink's Automotive in Lancaster and Goodney's Garage in Platteville, they have certified technicians and equipment and experience to keep your vehicle in top running condition. People's State Bank for personal, home, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their area convenient locations or visit peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Subs.com, fuel your fitness journey with a wide selection of products from locally owned company. Visit their Fennimore, Dubuque, and Platteville locations and at Sups.com. Lancaster Dental and Fennimore Smiles. Get the smile you want and the health you deserve. Learn more at LANCDENT.com. Bouse Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Busher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster and Fennimore. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer in Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and at Sloans.com. Our halftime fix earlier brought to you by Millie's Diner in Dickeyville, where everything is homemade. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check out their menu and daily specials on Facebook. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best. See Rob Krantz of the crew for full service repair on cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best in Fennimore. Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, and refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Point Flush Sportsman's Club, their guided upland bird and waterfowl hunts and friends and family will create memories that will last forever. Make your best shot with Point Flush Sportsman's Club in Potosi. And by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville, beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Ginger and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland, TriStar Mulch of Cobb and Platteville. Tyler Dutanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. We got more playoff volleyball coming up tomorrow night on our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. We will have Darlington at Marshall in Division 3. That will be on X1071 and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel tomorrow night. We also have Argyle taking on Southwestern on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And I will be in Pecatonica, where the Vikings are hosting Belmont in a Division 5 regional final. That'll be on Super Hits 106 and technology permitting on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Raleigh Chiefs pre-match set for 6:30 in the first serve for 7 o'clock. And when our games are finished tonight, we'll sort out our Level 2 coverage. We do know that we will follow the winner of this game, which is looking like it's going to be Fennimore, against the winner of Darlington and Melrose Medora, and I'm assuming it's going to be Darlington, which sets up a rematch of a game that you and I got to call a couple weeks ago where Darlington took it to the Fennimore Golden Eagles, and if this Fennimore team is playing as well as we've seen tonight, that game gets a whole lot more interesting at Martins Field a week from tonight.
Yeah, it'll be certainly very interesting to see. We can see how well the Fennimore coaches adjust just from matching up with Mineral Point just 7 days ago, and what kind of adjustments they made here. There's got to make some big adjustments from their last time versus Darlington, but the game versus Darlington the first time kind of got away from them very early there. By the time I think Fennimore could catch their breath, they were already down multiple scores, and that'll be an interesting matchup again to see next week if that's what it ends up being. I do have one more scoreboard update here for you, Tyler. This one might be interesting to you. The Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team is in a scrimmage right now with Oklahoma and Milwaukee. They're down at the half 46-41, but you're lucky enough to be able to get a call them on Wednesday when they play UW-Platteville.
Yeah, looking forward to calling that. First time I have an opportunity to call a Division I college basketball game. Looking forward to working with Steve Prestegard in the Guarding Against Cancer game, an exhibition game between UW-Platteville and UW-Madison. On Wednesday night, we'll have that game right here on X1071 and X1071.com. Our pregame set for 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 o'clock that night, which makes for a very busy week because you have Badger basketball and Pioneers basketball on Wednesday night, followed by sectional semifinal volleyball Thursday, Level 2 playoff football Friday night, and then sectional final volleyball Saturday night.
It seems like you're going to have a very busy schedule here in the next week. Hopefully your voice can hold out for the entire week there.
Yeah, hopefully the voice holds out, and most importantly, hopefully my wife's sanity doesn't go crazy because with hanging at home all the kids, because Chelsea's the real MVP in all this. Let's be honest here. Start of the second half coming up in just a little bit between Fennimore and Mineral Point. Our game today brought to you by Midwest Builders. Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore. By Mountain City Bank, their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountainCityBank.com. By Brian Stevis Construction, your local Wick Buildings dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put Wick Buildings, your dreams, and Brian Stevis Construction's expertise to work for you. Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point, the experts for auto service and repairs. For tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostics, visit their experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. Eggers Enterprises in Mineral Point, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping, and now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They'll always exceed your expectations. Check them out on their website or Facebook, or call Lane today. Southwest Health, over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Mineral Point will receive to begin the second half kickoff, working from left to right as we see it from the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Tolleson has the ball teed up for Fennimore. Here's the run-up and the kick. The second half underway, and it's going to be fielded by Bossert. Fakes the end around to Bomstad and runs it to the far side of the field to the 20-yard line, now the 30, and knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Mineral Point with the running clock to begin the second half. 42-7, Fennimore in the lead. Mineral Point with the first offensive play coming up here in just a moment.
We'll see how Mineral Point comes out to start the second half. Gotta imagine they're probably going to try to throw a little bit here to try to get some quick scores potentially on that scoreboard and try to claw their way back into this, but we'll see if they can find any success, as they did not find much in the first half.
There's the football touching the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pointers. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Liam Carey out of the shotgun. Grady Finley, the running back, to the right side. Carey takes a snap, rolling right, throws it to the near side. Pass is caught by Cole Ripp, and Ripp trying to get away from his defender, but a gang tackle on the near sideline as the tackle made initially by number 8, Corey Drazen. Gain of about 6 yards on the play makes it 2nd and 4. And the Pointers coming to the line of scrimmage quickly once again.
They're trying to get some tempo here to their offense and get some things moving.
Oster now switching to the left side of the field. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Liam Carey out of the shotgun. Carey takes a snap, quick pass far side. It's caught by Bossert in the backfield, trying to turn it upfield, but he has nowhere to go. As I believe that was Sean Yankee Fiedler there to make the initial hit. Actually, no, that was number 9, Jacob Kretschmann. And I believe a loss of yardage on the play as the football's back on the other side of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Yep, loss of about 2 there on the bubble screen, setting up Mineral Point for about a 3rd and 5 here.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Again, Mineral Point up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Over 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, 42-7. Fennimore on top of the Pointers. Carey dropping back to pass, looking to the right side, looking for his receiver, and the pass is batted away, incomplete. Great play defensively by Corey Drazen, knocking the ball out of the hands of Cole Ripp along the near sideline, and it's 4th and 5 coming up for Mineral Point.
Nice play there by Drazen to knock that ball away, to bring up a 4th down here for Mineral Point, which looks like they will be punting the ball away.
Woodlaw is serving you in Fennimore and basketball, providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, municipal law. Call Bennett, Woodlaw office, Fennimore, and basketball. Sean Yankee Fiedler back to return the punt for Fennimore, standing at his own 30-yard line. Snap is low, but Carey digs it out, and he gets this punt away. It's a spiral punt that takes a bounce at the 35-yard line and bounces sideways and will be downed at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Fennimore, leading 42-7, 9:05 and counting in the 3rd quarter.
Good defensive stand there by Fennimore to get their offense back on the field, and let's see if they can punch in another one here. Looks like they do have most of their starters, if not all of them, still in this game.
Community First Bank, freeing the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com, member FDIC.
Just as I say that, we got a brand new QB in for Fennimore.
At quarterback is number 18, Jackson Scheckler, a sophomore. 2 receivers to each side. Scheckler with the snap, and it's a quarterback keeper running it up the middle and into the teeth of the Mineral Point defense, but tackled short of about the 40-yard line. Nice run there of about 4. Should be 2nd and 6.
Nice QB draw play to get a moderate gain there to set up this 2nd and medium.
Ivy Construction in Mineral Point is a family-owned and operated ready-mix aggregate and excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy's Construction in Mineral Point. 2 receivers to each side of the formation once again for Scheckler, and for the starting quarterback, Dawson Krubel. Fennimore with a 42-7 lead as Scheckler takes the high snap and a give inside. And I believe this is Reese Kelly still in the game for Fennimore, and he gets across the 40 to...
It's about the 46.
46, a gain of 6 on the play, and a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty 1st down for Fennimore.
And if you're Mineral Point, you got to kind of take a little bit of pride in that. That's one of Kelly's shortest runs of the day so far. So they're able to bottom up a little bit there, but unfortunately gave up the 1st down.
Laley Center Monroe, call your local dairy automation specialist Jordan Wilson at Laley Center Monroe. 1st and 10 for Fennimore at their own 46-yard line. 7:06 left in the 3rd quarter, 42-7. Golden Eagles in the lead. 2 backs in the backfield with Jackson Scheckler. Fakes inside to Zanzevich, and now an option to Reese Kelly. And Kelly brings it out to the 50-yard line for a gain of about 4. 2nd and 6 again coming up for Fennimore. Even when the runs aren't that big, they're still very effective. Those 4 or 5 yard chunk plays really add up.
Yep, Fennimore's doing a good job kind of here controlling the clock. Obviously, we got fast clock anyways, but it wasn't, they'd be doing a nice job of running some clock here and maintaining possession of this ball.
2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line. Ball spotted on the far side. Hash mark, 2 receivers to the left side. And a quick pass to the near side, caught by Jude Kinney, and it's dropped, incomplete. Took his eye off the ball as he tried to turn upfield. Pass is incomplete, but the fortunate thing with the running clock is that the clock doesn't stop, so it's going to be 3rd and 6.
That would have been another big chunk play there for Fennimore if he was able to bring that one in, but it looked like he took his eyes off the last second as he saw a lot of green in front of him, and it looked like he was getting ready to make a move before bringing the ball in.
The Butcher Shop, for a great tasting meal to feed your family. Visit the Butcher Shop in Fennimore by Lely Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist Jordan Wilson at Lely Center Monroe. 3rd and 6 from the 50-yard line. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Jackson Scheckler again out of the pistol, and a quick pass in the backfield to Reese Kelly. And Kelly with the blocker tiptoes the sideline across the 50 to the 40 and knocked down near the 35-yard line. And they're going to say Reese Kelly is down at the Mineral Point 36-yard line. Nice run there by Kelly.
Nice job taking that little screen pass and getting a 14-yard gain, and he certainly laid the hammer on the defender there at the end of that to get another yard or 2.
Cow Tippers Pub and Eatery in Mineral Point for a great place to enjoy apps, half-pound and gourmet burgers, sandwiches, and Friday fish fry. Cow Tippers Pub and Eatery in Mineral Point. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Jackson Scheckler once again out of the pistol. Ryder Zanzavich, the running back, and Zanzavich will get the carry, waiting for his blockers to get set. Gets across the line of scrimmage and surging forward towards the 30-yard line. And a gain of 5, maybe 6, depending on the spot. And once again, the Fennimore offensive line just really setting the tone, pushing the Mineral Point defense back.
The physicality of Fennimore on both sides of the line here has been outstanding. If you're the offensive line or defensive line coach for Fennimore, you got to be very happy with what you're seeing there.
Speedy Mart, save 3 cents when you purchase your gas with cash. Speedy Mart in Fennimore. 2 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. Scheckler again out of the pistol. Zanzavich, the running back, right behind him. 4:17 and counting in the 3rd quarter. 42-7. Fennimore with the lead. Scheckler with the snap. And looking for some room on the outside, but gets tackled as he gets across the line of scrimmage. He gets it across the 30 to about the 29-yard line, so a gain of 2. Play number 7 of this drive coming up for Fennimore, a drive that began with 9 minutes left in this 3rd quarter with the running clock.
Fennimore is doing, like we said, a good job of running their offense here and controlling the line of scrimmage and getting just little chunk plays at a time to keep possession of this ball.
Farmers Implement in Mineral Point congratulates the Mineral Point football team on a great season. At Farmers Implement in Mineral Point, service has been a tradition for over 40 years. We have what you need to get the job done. 4 wide receivers set again, 2 to each side. Scheckler out of the pistol. Scheckler going to pitch it out to Zanzavich. Zanzavich with some blockers on the far side. Gets across the 25-yard line, but not much room after that. A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down on the 4th and 4 play. And it's 1st and 10 for Fennimore, knocking on the door of the Bitech green zone at the 25-yard line.
Zanzavich must watch a lot of Austin Genty tape.
Yes.
He has the same stance as him in the backfield there.
He kind of has that same build, too, a little bit.
Yep. He's a little on the shorter side, I would say. So it's but definitely
a stockier back.
Stocky back who's strong.
Definitely a back you don't want to hit full speed in this kind of weather. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Far side hash mark. 2 receivers to each side and an end around. But not a lot of room to go as the ball carrier at that time, Cooper Imhoff, couldn't get any blockers, and it's going to be a loss of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. I'll say it's at the 28-yard line.
Mineral Point defenders there did a great job of getting to that ball and gang tackling him to make sure that he was not able to break the tackle and get a gain.
West End Salvage of Lancaster, see Junkyard Joe Cranston, the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage of Lancaster and the Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville offers a history of caring and understands that each family is unique about honor personal requests and traditions. Matt and Laura Melby at the Melby Funeral Home and Crematory of Platteville. 2nd and 12 of the minute 55 left in the 3rd quarter. 42-7. Fennimore with the lead. Play number 9 of this drive. As Jackson Scheckler, the backup quarterback, takes the snap. He's going to pass near side. Bound downfield looking for Kinney, and the pass is incomplete. Kinney had a step on his defender, but Jackson Scheckler's pass just a bit out of his reach. And it'll be 3rd and 12 for the Golden Eagles at the Mineral Point 27-yard line.
Scheckler showing off his arm strength there. That was a heck of a pass there. Just a little too long for the receiver.
Game tonight brought to you by Northland Buildings. For a quality Northland building built tough for the Northland, contact Joe Ryder, your local expert in quality Northland post-frame buildings. And by Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque, powering our audio stream, Anderson Weber Toyota, when you are ready. 2 receivers to the right, 2 backs in the backfield, but Jackson Scheckler, Ryder Zanzevich to the left. And to the right side is, I believe, number 28, Liam Collins. And Scheckler takes a snap, fakes inside to both backs, now rolling right. Takes off a Pink's penalty flag for a hold. And Scheckler will tiptoe out of bounds, shy of the 20-yard line, but a blatant hold by Fennimore right in front of the official.
Just held on a little bit too long there. He had it set up for a nice little block, but just kind of grabbed him a little too much there at the end as Scheckler was trying to get to the outside.
That was play number 10. Play number 11 coming up, and I don't know if we'll see another play before the end of the 3rd quarter, but our game tonight brought to you by Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender by Herbst's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herbst's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Herbst's for the perfect paint for your next project. Herbst's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. That is the end of the 3rd quarter, and through 3, Fennimore 42, Mineral Point 7. 4th quarter coming up next on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 7.
Attention business owners. Are you tired of monthly fees eating into your profits? Look no further than People's State Bank. People's State Bank's business checking account has no monthly service charge. Yes, you heard that right. 0 monthly service charges. But that's not all. Enjoy free ATM and debit cards, free online and mobile banking, and free bill pay services. With People's State Bank, managing your business finances has never been easier or more affordable. Stop wasting your hard-earned money on unnecessary fees. Switch to People's State Bank today and take care of your business finances. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
Some things are meant to come in a box, like chocolates, phones, or jewelry, but some things aren't, like a mattress. Hi, this is Doug Dolter with Dubuque Mattress, and there are 2 major reasons why your next mattress should not come from a box. First, when foam is compressed for too long, it will lose its ability to return to its full thickness. And second, a good quality mattress, one worth the money you paid for it, is too heavy to ship by parcel service. With mattresses, lighter isn't better, period. Dubuque Mattress, for the rest of your life.
Dubuque Mattress Factory, you get a little snooze time.
In Game 7.
Start of the 4th quarter, it's 3rd and 22. Jackson Scheckler with the snap, looking for some room, passes over the middle, pass is caught by Jude Kinney at the 25-yard line, which would be the original line of scrimmage before the Pinks penalty. And a 4th down play coming up for Fennimore, leading 42-7 with 11:40 to play in the 4th quarter. Tyler Dictanis and Brad Adams with you with the best seat in the house in the Ears Furniture broadcast booth. An overwhelming, dominant performance by Fennimore in all 3 phases of the game. They're set to take on the winner of Darlington and Melrose Mindoro. We don't have a score of that game quite yet, but I would imagine Darlington being the 1 seed, one of the top teams in the state, having no problem with Melrose Mindoro, and would set up a rematch of Darlington and Fennimore in level 2. 4th and 10, Scheckler dropping back to pass out of the 4 wide receiver set. Quick pass to the near side, diving catch, and the officials are convening.
What
and
a catch.
I believe they're saying that's a catch along the near sideline, just out of our view. But a great catch by the Golden Eagles, and I believe the
Cooper Imhoff.
Cooper Imhoff, number 20, the receiver. My goodness, what a catch.
Full layout there to bring in the catch. Looks like he does get the 1st down. So a heck of an effort there. Fennimore has had a few of those excellent effort plays so far here tonight, and that's another one.
A Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty 1st down by Imhoff, catching it along the sideline, keeping at least 1 foot in bounds at the 15-yard line, just exactly the 10 yards they needed to move the sticks and continue the drive. Play number 12 of this drive. Scheckler with the quarterback keeper. Takes off across the right side and might be at the 10-yard line for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up as Fennimore is in the Bitech Green Zone of Greener Way. Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Our game today brought to you by Russell Offices, here to assist as your local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Russell offices in Platteville, Dodgeville, Cuba City, and Darlington. 2nd and 6 from the 9-yard line is what the scoreboard says on our shoebox scoreboard. 9:45 left in the fourth quarter, 42-7. Fennimore with the lead and the ball. Play number 13. And Scheckler going to give to one of his running backs as more backups seeing some action for Fennimore as Casey Dre's in the ball carrier that time. And it's going to be 3rd and medium coming up for Fennimore.
Looks like a no gain on the play, maybe a slight loss. Hard to tell from our angle, but I gave him a no gain there. But we'll see what Fennimore dials up on this 3rd and medium.
Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist, the pros of Brian's, gets the job done right for unexpected dings or major repair projects. Head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster and by McNutt Electric in Belmont. They can assist with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNutt Electric are on call. I'm ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNutt Electric into Belmont. And we have a new quarterback in for Fennimore. They pitch out to the near side, and trying to run up the middle is number 48, Tegan Drazen. And it's going to be 4th down as he's short of the first down marker.
Looks like another no gain type play. A lot of running there for not a whole lot of yards gained.
And it looks like the quarterback is wearing number 19, but not listed in my program.
It's number 18.
Oh,
still.
it is?
Yep,
Scheckler?
Yep,
All right.
Yep, it's still Scheckler. The way Fennimore's numbers are on the jersey, though, can make it a little hard to read at times.
Yeah, the crease makes the 8 look like a 9.
Yep.
Yeah, Scheckler lining up out of the pistol on 4th and 5. Scheckler dropping back to pass. Fires over the middle towards the back of the end zone. Jude Kinney with the catch. And it is a Northland Buildings touchdown for Jude Kinney. Capping off a 15-play drive that took 14 minutes off the clock in the second half. Fennimore stretches the lead 48-7 with 7:53 left in the fourth.
Just the drive you're looking for if you're Fennimore with the running clock. Heck of a job there by Scheckler being the backup QB leading that drive. That was an excellent touchdown pass on the crossing route there. Was patient enough to let Kinney find a little opening in the middle of the field there for that touchdown.
10-yard touchdown strike for Scheckler, and Scheckler dropping back to pass for the 2-point conversion, and another throw to Kinney for the 2-point conversion on a slant, and that is good for 2. Fennimore 50, Mineral Point 7. 7:53 left in the fourth quarter. Back after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In game 8.
Hello, Mitch here from Kieler Family Dental. There's never been a better time to explore what's possible for you and your family at our 3 state-of-the-art facilities. From routine dental care to same-day crowns to clear aligners, veneers, and implants, we cover a wide spectrum of dental services. Call our team and experience patient-centered care for you and your family at Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental. Ask about our new patient specials. Keep smiling, Tri-States.
Southwest Tech in Fennimore celebrates Wisconsin Manufacturing Month. Employers in Southwest Wisconsin are eager to hire skilled workers in manufacturing, and the Industrial Mechanic program at Southwest Tech equips students with technical expertise in areas like mechanical drive systems, electrical systems, basic welding, machining, and more. Graduates of this program can either enter the workforce or continue their education in the 2-year electromechanical technology program. Apply today at swtc.edu. Southwest Tech, education as unique as you.
In game 8.
Colton Tollison's kickoff is going to be returned by Bomstad, and Torin Bomstad on the far sideline, across the 30 to the 40 to the 50, still on his feet, and knocked out of bounds at the Fennimore 45-yard line. And 1st and 10 for Mineral Point as the Pointers trail 50-7 with 7:35 and counting left in the fourth quarter of our Division 6 Level 1 playoff on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Nice return there by Bomstad. They've kind of do the fake reverse like they've done on every single kickoff return so far, but he was able to find a nice crease and bring it back into Fennimore territory to set Mineral Point's offense up in a nice spot.
Ball spotted at the Fennimore 45-yard line with 7:10 and counting. in the fourth quarter. The last drive for Fennimore took 13 minutes off the clock. The drive began with 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and the drive ended with 7:53 remaining. So a timeout taken by Fennimore.
Looks like a little bit of confusion of who's supposed to be out on the field. Looks like there might have been a man short, and that's what the reason for the timeout here.
Breckler Insurance Group, for all of your insurance needs, see Stephen Landowski at Breckler Insurance in Fennimore. Breckler Insurance, serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. WCC Brands Custom Apparel and Kieler and at WCC-brands.com. The Highland State Bank of Highland and HighlandStateBank.net. Cole Acres Golf and Grill in Cuba City and ColeAcresGolfandGrill.com. And by Applied Micro, your computer and networking specialist in Platteville, Dodgeville, and AppliedMicro.biz. First and 10 for Mineral Point with 7:05 remaining in the game, 50-7. Fennimore on top. And the Pointers keeping their starters in as Liam Carey tried to give inside to Grady Finley, and there is no room to go. And big number 58, Dakota Harold, there to lay the wood on the ball carrier, and a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. The football's back at the 47-yard line.
Nice job getting some penetration and bringing down the ball carrier in the backfield. As we're seeing some backups here for Fennimore, so I'm sure it's awesome for them to get some playing time here and make a nice play like that in the playoffs.
Laley Center Monroe, call your local dairy automation specialist Jordan Wilson at Laley Center Monroe and the Butcher Shop in Fennimore. For a great tasting meal to feed your family, visit the Butcher Shop in Fennimore. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 12, 6:18 and counting in the fourth quarter. Liam Carey with the snap, going to give inside to Grady Finley. Finley trying to bounce it to the left side, has a blocker on the near side across the 45 to the 50, and tackled down across the 40 in Fennimore territory, short of the 35, and close to a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. Gain of 11 on the play. It'll be 3rd and short.
Finley finally able to break one a little open. That was his longest carry of the night. 11 yards. Looks like Mineral Point called a timeout to kind of give maybe some of their seniors a little send-off here.
Yep, so a senior send-off on this timeout taken by Mineral Point. Stops the clock with 5:53 remaining, 50-7 the score. Fennimore will advance to level 2. The last time Fennimore made the playoffs, they did advance to level 3 before being eliminated by Lancaster. And this is a playoff game, let alone victory, that Fennimore was looking to have. This game 7 years in the making, and Coach Rosemeyer doing an outstanding job with this Fennimore program. 3rd and 1, coming out of the timeout as a bunch of backups are now in the game for the Pointers. And a pre-snap penalty will back the Pointers up 5 yards.
Yeah, as you said, great job by Coach Rosemeyer here to kind of rebuild this Fennimore program as they came up on a little hard times. And in his 4th year, it's nice to see Fennimore kind of having success again. And I'm sure they're very happy with this victory that they're going to get here, but the work's not done for them. I'm sure Coach Rosemeyer, if we get the chance to talk to him after this game, that's the message he'll say. Job's not over. Huge game versus what we're assuming is Darlington. If it's not Darlington, that's one of the biggest upsets in the state. Got to be in a long time. So we're assuming Darlington, and we've seen them play Darlington earlier this year. So there's some things they got to tighten up here and for that matchup next week. For
wide receiver set, Eli James, the freshman quarterback, now taking off on the right side and gets a Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down, bringing it out short of the 30-yard line to about the 32. A nice run there by the freshman quarterback. Game brought to you by Southwest Health with over 24 specialty services in more than 50 specialists. So you got specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Also by Ivy Construction, a family-owned and operated ready-mix and aggregate excavation company serving Southwest Wisconsin. Ivy Construction in Mineral Point. Hornets come out to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. Under 5 minutes left to play. 50-7, Fennimore on top. Eli James out of the pistol. And a give inside to the running back. This is number 22, Easton Burnett, a sophomore running back. Runs it up the middle and gets across the 30-yard line. No, just shy of the 30-yard line. Nose of the football touching the 30, we'll say, for a gain of 2. Game also brought to you by Eggers Enterprises in Mineral Point, specializing in residential and commercial landscaping and hardscaping, and now including lawn care and hydro seeding. They always exceed your expectations. Check them out on the web or Facebook or call Lane today. Two receivers to each side of the formation on 2nd and 8, 4:15 left. Eli James dropping back to pass, fires over the middle. Pass is caught by Memphis Burkhalter inside the 20-yard line and tackled down at the 15-yard line. Gain of 15 on the play. Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down and a stop in the Bitech green zone for the Pointers. A greener way. Bitech Resource Management of Monroe. Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. The experts for auto service and repairs for tune-ups, new tires, and complete diagnostics. Visit their experts at Dan's Auto Center in Mineral Point. First and 10 at the 15-yard line for Mineral Point. Two receivers to each side of the formation. Eli James out of the pistol. James with the snap. It's high. Fakes inside. Rolling right. Has a blocker. Now deciding to take off. And he stopped just shy of the 10-yard line. Maybe a gain of 3 to about the 12-yard line, we'll call it. Game also brought to you by Brian Steffes Construction, your local Wick Buildings dealer in Mineral Point, serving all of Southwest Wisconsin since 1996. Put Wick Buildings, your dreams, and Brian Steffes Construction's expertise to work for you. And by Community First Bank, freeing the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank. CFBank.com. Member FDIC. And Woodlaw is serving you in Fennimore and Boscobel, always on. Providing Grant County estate planning, elder law, probate, business law, real estate, and municipal law. Call Ben at Woodlaw Office, Fennimore, and Boscobel. 2nd and 7 from the 12-yard line. Eli James with a quick pass to the far side. It's caught inside the 10. Knocked out of bounds near the first down marker. We'll see how close they are. So Sullivan Auctioneers Big Iron Realty first down. They say he's got enough for it. And it will be first and goal for Mineral Point inside the 5-yard line at about the 4. Game also brought to you by Mount City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Step into Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at MountCityBank.com. Two receivers to each side of the formation for Mineral Point. Slot receiver from the right side going in motion. And a give inside to the running back. It's number 22, Easton Burnett. And he gets closer to the goal line, but still stops short. It will be 2nd and goal at about the 4-yard line.
Fennimore's defense looks like they do not want to give up any late-minute touchdowns here and want to keep Mineral Point at 7, and Mineral Point's trying their hardest to get in there. Game also brought to you by Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore, specializing in commercial and light industrial construction, building lasting relationships in the tri-state area since 1992. Midwest Builders Incorporated of Fennimore. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line for Mineral Point. Two receivers to each side. And a give inside to Burnett. Burnett trying to bounce it to the far side, and 3 Eagles flock to make the tackle on the far side. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like he might be back to the 5-yard line, so a loss of 1. The Fennimore backups here are doing a great job of swarming towards the ball and was not allowing Mineral Point to get any yardage on that carry.
Under a minute to play, 50-7. Fennimore on their way to playing next week in Level 2. Eli James out of the pistol on 3rd and goal. And he loses the football. Now rolling right, has some room, but a great tackle on the far side of the field to stop James short of the goal line. And trying to see which player it was that made the tackle for Fennimore. Looks to be number 16, Jonathan Winger, a junior. And 15 seconds left. We'll see if Mineral Point does run one more play.
I think they're certainly going to try. It'd be nice for them to end the season for them with a touchdown.
5 seconds left. Can they get a play off? Mineral Point trying to get their players set. The clock hits 0. And that will do it. The final score for the Rock at Fennimore High School. The Golden Eagles take down the Mineral Point Pointers 50-7. Mineral Point avenges one of their losses from a week ago and improved to 8-3 in this campaign in 2025. They will take on either Darlington or Melrose Medora. It's most likely Darlington, and we will have that game for you on one of our Queen Bee Radio family of stations next week. And the Mineral Point Pointers finished with a record of 6-5. And a 4-game winning streak for the Pointers comes to an end in the Level 1 playoffs in Division 6. Coming up next, the Reeves Health Management at Edward Jones post-game show. We'll see if we can catch up with Coach Rosemeyer, maybe a player or two for Fennimore. Also get you the Tri-Court Turning Point, the Les Mack Drive of the Game, West End Salvage Scrapper of the Game, the Hertz Hardware MVP, all straight ahead here on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 9.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
In Game 9.
Fennimore defeats Mineral Point 50-7 in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. The Edward Jones at Reeves Health Management post-game show coming up next on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
In Game 10.
People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
Are you looking for a new and exciting career? This is Jen Casper with Queen Bee Radio. We're currently hiring for people to join our radio and digital sales team. Queen Bee Radio is a fun, limited growth opportunities. Life's too short to work where you're not having fun. Give me a call today at 608-349-2045, and I can tell you firsthand how my career in radio sales has been incredibly rewarding. Go to our social media pages or our websites and click on the career link for details on this radio and digital sales opportunity and to apply.
In Game 10.
Fennimore defeats Mineral Point 50-7 in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. Coming up next, the Reeves Health Management at Edward Jones postgame show right here on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Postgame 4 minutes.
Craving something sweet? Step into the flavor of a good old-fashioned bake sale, Quick Trip style. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our premium donuts. Now just $2.99 for a 3-pack. Choose from Quick Trip's fluffy long johns, rich Persians, classic Bismarcks, or ring donuts. So delicious, just like the ones at your hometown bake sale. Quick Trip's premium donuts. Now only $2.99 for a 3-pack. A sweet deal. Too delicious to pass up. So treat yourself today. Only at Quick Trip.
Our Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school sports on Queen Bee Radio is presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental, and by Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. Check out our upcoming schedule at am1590wpvl.com.
Enjoy a taste of fall at the Calco Bean Market in Dubuque. Try our fall candies and treats, coffees and cappuccinos, dips, snacks, and more. Now's the time to place holiday and corporate gift orders. The Calco Bean Market opens 7 days a week at 352 Bluff Street in Dubuque. Shop now at calcobeanmarket.com.
Winter is right around the corner. How are your tires? Pioneer Ford Sales Tire Sale is on now. Get a $100 rebate or 22,000 Ford Pass reward points when you buy a set of 4 select tires. Plus, if you are military or a first responder, get an additional $80 instant discount as well. Choose from Goodyear, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Continental, and General, just to name a few. Pioneer Ford Sales in Platteville, keeping you safe on the roads this winter. Sale good until November 19th. See dealer for complete details.
The Gifted Hands Thrift Store in Galena offers low-cost clothing and household goods to the public. Shop local and support individuals with disabilities served by the Galena Workshop. The thrift store provides paying jobs to many individuals and is a stepping stone for some to get a job in the community. Donated items are accepted at the workshop on Southwest Street in Galena, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m., except holidays. Gifted Hands Thrift Store at the Galena Workshop is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays 9 till 1.
RPG came through the belly of the aircraft. We don't talk about the female combat wounded. These are our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. Wounded Warrior Project came into my life and taught me how to stand back up and get back in the fight. The truth is, I think we all have this strength inside of us, but until you're tested, you just don't know it's there.
See how Wounded Warrior Project empowers women veterans like Beth by visiting woundedwarriorproject.org/empowerwomenvets.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Over 2.8 million Americans have served in our military since 9/11. Many have returned home with devastating injuries and few resources for them and their families. This is news correspondent Bob Woodruff. I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq in 2006. The military had my back that day, and they have each other's while serving. It's time we had theirs. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative. To learn more, go to gotyour6.org using the number 6.
Your high school postgame show is brought to you by Elena and Ben Reeves at Edward Jones, a financial service firm serving individuals and business owners.
Is your money working as hard as it should be? This is Elena Reeves with Edward Jones. If you want to provide for your children's education, reduce your tax bill, or prepare for a comfortable retirement, we need to talk. Today, more than ever, your financial security deserves the attention of full-time financial advisors. Take advantage of our years of experience. Contact financial advisors Elena or Ben Reeves at 608-348-2441 or stop by our office on Highways 80 and 81 in Platteville next to Sups Nutrition. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Time now for the Edward Jones Reeves Wealth Management post-game show on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The final score, Fennimore 50, Mineral Point 7 in our WIAA Division 6 Level 1 playoff. We're joined by the victorious head coach, Tyrell Rosemeyer. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win. If you told us that last week, you know, the game was 39-6, the final, Mineral Point takes you guys down, and you come back and you... What's that?
39-36.
39-36. To have a bounce back like this game, was this the kind of game that you expected to see from your team here tonight? Because your team was dominant in all three phases of the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just that extra motivation from last week. You know, I mean, we let one slip through our fingers there. You know, and we coached well this week. Every single position was coached hard. Every single position, it was blocking and tackling, and that is what we focused on, and that is what we did tonight. So, I mean, if we block and tackle well, we're a tough team.
When you saw the brackets come out, you saw that Mineral Point was the first team that you're going to face in the postseason in the first playoff game that Fennimore was going to have since 2018. Was it immediate, like, revenge game, get ready and, you know, make quick adjustments, or what was the mindset coming in?
We met on Saturday, and we watched the reveal, and, I mean, we were ecstatic. It was a dream come true. I honestly couldn't have thought of a better first-round matchup based off of what happened last week. So, I mean, we were just all in. And, I mean, we've been all in for 3.5 years now, and it's starting to pay off. So, I mean, you know, our senior class is just leading us. Our junior class is dominating behind them, and we just got a really good thing going. So, I mean, yeah, best matchup possible in our opinion.
Yep, and we have a couple MVPs up here with us in the booth, but you were talking before we went on the air about the all-line play, and we mentioned it during pregame that if you guys block and you tackle, you guys win, and you guys excelled in both those categories here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we had Waylon Miles go down this week, a little bit of knee injury. He'll be back next week, though. And, Adam Johnson stepped in to a role that, he's been playing all year. So we've rotated, 7 guys, right, all year. So we really, were prepared for that situation when one of those guys went down. And those two guys that had to flip-flop tonight did a great job. Corbin Demo's been doing a great job all year. Reed Stallsberg, Noah Needham. I mean, they are just on their game. And, without them, we can't do anything. And that's been the big difference this year, I feel like, is our O-line play and our D-line play.
Yeah, but as great as this night is, the attention is coming up around the corner. It's most likely Darlington coming up next week, and we were here for the first matchup here this season, and Darlington won in dominant fashion. What are the points of emphasis with your team heading into the matchup, potentially with the Redbirds next week?
Yeah, well, obviously, I don't know if Darlington won tonight. There's
right.
A lot of stuff that happens, but, if we get the Redbirds, we'll be prepared, and, they're one of the best teams in the state. I mean, I truly mean regardless of division.
Right.
I mean, they are a powerhouse of a team. But, I mean, again, we block and tackle well. We got dudes. So it'll be a good game, and, I'm excited for that one.
Yep, looking forward to seeing it. We'll be there for that one next week as well. Congrats on the win, Coach. Go enjoy it. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, awesome. That's Tyrell Rosemeyer, head coach of the Fennimore Golden Eagles, and let's join it with one of our Herb Today's Hardware MVPs, Reese Kelly. Reese Kelly, I believe, had 189 yards rushing on the game here today, and you got things started fast and furious, breaking off a 67-yard run to open things up, and that really set the tone for this offense. And, Coach was bragging about the offensive line and bragging about those guys who were blocking for you because they set up some mean holes for you to run through.
Oh, yeah. Like everything, our O-line, they're the motor of our team. Like, if our O-line's going, we're all going. Like, they get us pumped, they get us going, and, like, I give all my props to them because that first run, I didn't get touched. I ran 60 yards untouched, got down to the 2-yard line, and then they helped us punch it in next play. It's all I got to give to them. It's a fun game, fun ride. Hope to win next week too.
Yep, over 1,000 yards rushing on this season. Quite a few receiving yards as well. Talk about playing on this Fennimore team this year because this is a program that's taken their bumps over the last couple of years, but now under the fourth year of head coach Tyrell Rosemeyer, it seems like this team is officially locked in and playing very, very well. What's it been like playing on this team this year?
It's been very fun. We all put our hearts into it. We all dedicated ourselves. We knew who we could be, and we did that. We executed. We worked, and like we just put our hearts in the weight room. We all got better. We all trained during the off season, and the results are showing right now.
Yep, absolutely. And talk about last week's loss a little bit and how much that led into this week because, that one had to sting the way that loss came on a last-second field goal. And then seeing that you were going to be playing the Pointers immediately next week, was it immediately locked in? We're ready to go and ready to get our revenge on these guys?
Oh, yeah. When we went in there on Saturday, we knew who we wanted to play, and we got them. And we knew that we could beat them, and we showed that tonight. We know who we can be.
All right, awesome. Well, congrats on the win, Reese. An outstanding game. Good luck to you guys next week. We'll see you guys a week from tonight.
Yep, thank you.
All right, awesome. Reese Kelly, the running back, joining us on our post-game show, and we're joined by the other MVP, Sean Yankee-Wiedler. What didn't he do tonight? Had a receiving touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown,
a rushing
touchdown, had an interception, padding the stat line. Seemed like you were just kind of on a warpath here tonight and, wanting to make up for the loss that happened last week. Talk about the performance here tonight. What stood out to you the most, by your performance and your team as a whole? Because it was all hands on deck and an all-around great team performance tonight.
Yeah, after we lost to them last week, Saturday when we went in and we saw that we had Mineral Point, we immediately knew we had to step up. We all knew our mistakes. We all went in as a team. We all held each other accountable, and it's no one individual. It's all the team. You just got to take it as a team. And it showed that tonight. We all put the emphasis on it. We showed them who we can be. That's about it.
Yeah, what felt different this week compared to last week? Obviously, more of a back-and-forth game last week, but, you guys set the tone early and often, able to score 3 times in that first quarter to really kind of put the game out of reach right away, and it just kind of felt like you were able to take the morale from the Pointers away early on.
Yeah, last week we started out hot, our energy was high, and it kind of just went low. This game, our goal is just to keep our energy high. We did that. we were all excited. We were all pumped to get into this game, and it just shows on the field what we can do.
And what's it like playing a playoff game on your home field? It's been a while since Fennimore's gotten to host this, and it was a great environment here, at least on this sideline. It felt like, how would you say it felt being able to get a playoff win here at the Rock?
I heard it's been 7 years since we made it to the playoffs. It was just absolutely awesome that we can have a home game on the Rock. It's called the Rock for a reason. You can check all the guys out. Bruises, scrapes everywhere. It's just awesome to have a win on this field. The atmosphere is great. Student section is just crazy. Family, friends, everyone you can think of is just there for you.
All right, now, as we said, we don't know the final score, but it's likely going to be Darlington because Darlington's been one of the best teams in the state. They're undefeated. I don't think they're having a problem with Melrose Mindoro. So assuming that it's Darlington, and that's one of the teams that beat you guys handily the last time that we saw you guys play them, what's going to be the things you're going to be working on with your teammates heading into the Level 2 matchup next week?
When we faced them first, we knew some of the guys were scared. We just need to come out with energy, high energy like this game. It's just we need to come out as a team together. When we played them first, it was just all apart. We were just all fell apart. When we play them this next week, we're all going to have our heads high no matter what. It's going to be a fourth quarter game, and we are ready for what's coming.
All right, should be a great matchup. We're looking forward to it. Thanks a lot for your time. Go enjoy the win, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you.
Yep, Sean Yankee Fiedler joining us on our Edward Jones Reese Wealth Management postgame show on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Again, the final score, Fennimore defeats Mineral Point 50-7. Brad, as we said in the first half, this was not the kind of game that we anticipated, considering the matchup these two had last week came down to a game-winning field goal by Liam Carey. Fennimore wanted to set the tone early on, and boy, did they ever.
Yeah, when you start the game off with a 67-yard run down to the 2-yard line, that's going to send a message, and Fennimore didn't let up from there. They were on top of their game throughout the first half, and even in the second half with some of their backups in. They were dominant, and this was a dominant fashion, and they looked very, very good, setting up a potentially very nice matchup again between Darlington. We'll see how if we ever get a Darlington score, what that happens here. But that Darlington Fennimore game will be interesting. Like we said, Darlington's just a heck of a program and have been for years. By Coach Winker's has got a good thing going there, but Coach Rosemeyer here at Fennimore has been building this for 3.5 years. So they are certainly chomping at the bit to get another bite at Darlington, and I'm expecting that to be a competitive game. Yeah, this win for Fennimore isn't just a end of a playoff drought. Like, this was a 4-year build for Coach Rosemeyer once he took over the program, and they've taken their lumps. They've been doing their best progressively building this program. Coach Rosemeyer, a good follow on X. He posts his players, lifting in the weight room, showing how he's been building this program. It has paid off, and boy, was this performance a statement for Fennimore, saying that Fennimore football's back. Yeah, it was, like you said, dominated in all three fashions of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. I don't know. They're going to have to look at the tape quite a bit, I think, to find something to be like, holy cow, we need to really fix this. They looked very good. We're able to keep the penalties to a minimum. Just was able to keep the momentum on their side throughout this game. And, yeah, certainly this is a great building block for this program, but this, like the players and Coach Rosemeyer said there, this is not where they want to end. They want to keep this going, and are looking forward to potentially Darlington next week. Yeah, you can tell they're locked in. They're ready for next week, and they know what's coming. And, as we said, we were here for the first matchup between Darlington and Fennimore, and, quite honestly, that was not the game that we were expecting to see either, because that was a battle for the top of the Swall, and Darlington took it to Fennimore right here at the Rock. Obviously, Fennimore has to go to Darlington next week, assuming that that's what it's going to be. So, obviously, Fennimore made the adjustments that they needed to, and if this Fennimore team is the one that plays next week, that game gets a whole heck of a lot more interesting at Martins Field. Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see. I think it's safe to say that Darlington's probably a step up from the competition of Mineral Point. No offense to Mineral Point there, but Darlington has been a heck of a program. We'll see what Fennimore can do to draw up, and I'm expecting next week to be a lot closer than the first one. The first one score, I think, is a little bit misleading. Darlington jumped on Fennimore, and before Fennimore could even blink, the game was essentially over. So if Fennimore could just hang in there in the first quarter and to just keep their confidence up and not let things slip away, that next week's ball game is going to be a heck of a game.
All right, let's hand out our post-game awards. Let's hand out the Hearst Ace Hardware MVP, brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Hearst Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main in Platteville. Hearst's will be the MVP for your next project in your home. Go to Hearst Ace Hardware in Bloomington and Platteville. I think we alluded to it in the first half. I think Sean Yankee-Fiedler, with the performance that he had tonight, padding the stats, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, kickoff return for a touchdown, and an interception all in one half of play. He was all over the place. We saw him, get the job done defensively. I think he had a couple of TFLs on his stat line defensively as well. Hard to put a knock against him in what was really an outstanding all-around performance by the Fennimore Golden Eagles team tonight.
Yeah, Sean Yankee-Fiedler had a heck of a ball game. If you just look at the pure stats, the game might not stick out to you if you don't look at all the stats. 'Cause
right.
He only had the one catch for 32 yards, but scored a touchdown. He had three rushes for 32 yards of the touchdown. Had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Had a pick. Had several tackles for losses. He was flying all over the place, and there's not much more he possibly could have done. The only thing he was missing was a punt return touchdown, throwing a touchdown. But, we don't want to be too greedy over here. But that was a heck of a performance by him, and well-deserving MVP for this game.
All right, that was our Hearst Ace Hardware MVP, Sean Yankee-Fiedler of the Fennimore Golden Eagles. Our Tricor Turning Point brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. I think the kickoff return for a touchdown was definitely the turning point, as Mineral Point had their first touchdown, their only touchdown of the game early in the second quarter, and it was the kickoff return immediately by Sean Yankee-Fiedler to stretch the lead 28-7. Thought Mineral Point might have had a chance, kind of progressively worked their way back, being down 3 scores, but Sean Yankee-Fiedler said, we're not having that. We're going to score a touchdown, and Mineral Point just could do nothing from that point forward.
Yeah, I tend to agree there. Yankee-Fiedler took that kick return and basically went untouched the entire way.
Yeah.
Like, there was a huge holes for him to run through there, and yeah, it seemed like Mineral Point might have got a little bit of momentum on that drive before that they scored the touchdown, and a few seconds later they were back in the same boat. So yeah, I definitely think that's a good turning point. The second turning point I would say would be after the first possession, or Mineral Point's first possession, where they tried to punt and had that bad snap.
Right.
That set Fennimore up for another quick touchdown for there. That was another big play, but the Yankee-Fiedler kickoff return for a touchdown was certainly that put a stamp on it. That the game was over from there.
Yeah, definitely. So the kickoff return is our Tricor Turning Point, again brought to you by Tricor Insurance. The Les Mack drive of the game presented by Les Mack Automotive in Lancaster. Whether it's Chevy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or Ford, you can count on over 50 years of trusted hometown service, because at Les Mack you always get more from Les. I know that this came well after the game was decided, but the 15-play drive that took 13 minutes off the clock in the second half, as Fennimore rotated in a number of backup players, that was their only drive of the second half. And, at halftime, 42-7, the game's, obviously well out of reach, but Fennimore to be able to sit on the football for 15 plays and take all the time off the clock that they needed to, it didn't matter who was in the game. That just showed how dominant Fennimore was tonight.
Yeah, Fennimore did a great job there. Yeah, when you only have one possession and a half, that's probably generally not a good sign for you. But in this case, it was a great sign for Fennimore. They were up big, able to basically drain most of the clock off in the entire second half with a majority of their second stringers in for that long drive. And the backup quarterback for Fennimore, Jackson Scheckler, he was very impressive to me on that drive. He went 4 for 6 on that drive with a touchdown and with 46 yards, and he looked very good and in command of that offense. And the backups were still able to get some nice runs through there, and that was you're not going to see a 13, 14-minute drive,
right.
Whatever you said there. You're not going to see that very often in high school football.
Yeah, my goodness. And then, kind of tying into what we talked about for the Millie's Diner halftime fix for Fennimore, just got out of the game healthy. Well, if you can sit on the football for 14 minutes with your backups, that does a lot and takes the time off the clock and sets yourself up for an outstanding matchup next week against Darlington. Let's close up our postgame awards with the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game. It's the player whose hustleness and scrappiness stood out and tried to lay the opponent to waste, presented by West End Salvage of Lancaster. It's hard to pick one, but I'm going to say Reese Kelly plus the offensive line for Fennimore, because they were the ones that really got things going with the running game, obviously. Dawson Krubel had himself an outstanding game passing the football for Fennimore, but the running game is what really set the tone and established things for the Fennimore Golden Eagles tonight.
Yeah, I'll also throw Fennimore's defensive line in there.
Exactly.
They were able to hold Fennimore Mineral Point to 49 yards rushing total, with a lot of those coming on in the second half versus some of the backups, especially on that last possession there. But, yeah, I think it'd be remiss if we didn't mention Kelly. He had 9 carries for 189 yards and those 2 touchdowns. He certainly set the tone early with, that 67-yard touchdown. He had several long runs. I count 4 runs over 25 yards. So he was ready to run tonight. And, yeah, the offensive lines did a great job of creating not just holes, but big holes for him to run through. And once they got through those holes, they were generally going a long way, sometimes untouched towards the end zone. So, Kelly and the offensive and defensive line for Fennimore, I would say definitely deserve the scrapper of the game.
All right, those are the West End Salvage scrappers of the game, brought to you by West End Salvage of Lancaster. We'll take our last time out. We'll do a final check on the shoebox scoreboard, see what the brackets look like in high school football after level 1 playoff action, as our Edward Jones at Rees Wealth Management postgame show continues after this on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel.
Postgame 1 minute.
I left the military with a traumatic brain injury. I came home to fight depression, anxiety, and alcohol.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Adam Greathouse, Army veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
With DAV's help, I've built a new life for myself.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is just experiencing life.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Postgame 1 minute.
Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The final score from the Rock at Fennimore High School. The Golden Eagles rout the Mineral Point Pointers 50-7. On the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Over on the Illinois side, Galena 26, Fulton 7. Galena now playoff eligible. On the IHSA side of things. On the Wisconsin side, playoff action, Platteville leading Lodi 22-14 with 6:20 left in the fourth quarter. That one on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Potosi-Cassville over Cambria-Friesland 42-8 in Division 7. Blackhawk Warren hangs on to beat River Ridge 8-6, the final, in a gritty football game between those two programs. And Blackhawk Warren, the number 1 seed and undefeated team out of the Six Rivers Conference, barely hangs on against their Six Rivers rival, River Ridge, once again. Also, at the end of the third quarter, Amherst was leading Lancaster 36-7, and that just went final 42-14. Amherst ends Lancaster's season on 97.7 Country WGLR. Just refresh the brackets here, and the number 7 seed Belleville takes down Markesan 42-14.
There you go. It's a nice little upset there.
Yeah. A dominant upset at that. Other updates in Division 7, Johnson Creek takes down Clear Lake 48-7, so the 2 seed advances in that bottom half of the bracket. Number 3 seeded Coleman takes down Randolph, and we're waiting to see the final between Royal and Roncalli. Mentioned earlier, Potosi-Cassville took down Cambria-Friesland 48-7. Let's look at Division 5. Any other updates there? Prairie du Chien, a 50-6 winner over Westfield. They will take on number 2 seeded Stratford, which I believe is a rematch of a level 4 playoff that they had a couple of years ago to go to state in Division 5. So that's a very intriguing matchup. New Glarus, the number 3 seed, advances over 6 seeded Clinton 43-0, the final in that. And I don't see any other updates as far as local teams, as Platteville, latest update, Platteville 29, Lodi 22 with 4:38 left in the fourth quarter. That one on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL.
I got two non-football final scores here if we want to hear those.
Yeah, let's do that.
The Milwaukee Bucks won 122-116 over the Toronto Raptors. Yep, hard to believe the NBA season is already here and rolling. And the Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team in their scrimmage versus Oklahoma fell 84-83. Seemed like it was a good game from what I could tell from Twitter. That it was basically it came down right down to the wire. So with Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma hit a big shot with seconds left. So nice to see a Badgers team show some life.
Right, yeah, no kidding. My goodness, it's been not fun lately if you're a Badger fan. I mean, Badger volleyball is still doing very good,
yes.
But I mean, obviously the direction is towards the football program because, football's one of my favorite sports. I know it's yours, and I know that you're kind of on the side of the not having Luke Fickell on the sidelines anymore.
I think there might need to be a change there, but again, I'm just a fan. I don't know much, and the financial side seems like it might come in the way, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, maybe they'll show life here down in the second half and prove me and a bunch of other people wrong going into next season. But we shall see what happens. But yeah, Badger volleyball team has been great as always. They're fun to watch. So if you get a chance, tune into them or go to a game, and they're always fun to see. But yeah, hopefully the football team can figure things out in a hurry.
I mean, a lot of the Badger programs, you look at them, they're ranked in their respective sports. I think 13 of the 16 or something like that are ranked in some capacity. It's just when the football team is kind of the focal point of the university, you kind of need that to be successful.
Yeah, it kind of throws a black cloud over the rest of the success that the rest of the athletic department is having there.
Yep. Speaking of Badger football, they're at Oregon tomorrow night. Pregame coverage at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock kickoff over on 97.7 Country WGLR. 3 regional finals in volleyball tomorrow night. Darlington's at Marshall in Division 3. That'll be right here on X1071 on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Southwestern at Argyle in Division 5 on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Belmont at Pecatonica on Super Hits 106. Technology permitting, also on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Raleigh Cheese pre-match set for 6:30 and the first serve at 7 o'clock. Next week for Level 2, we do know that we will follow Fennimore, regardless if it's Darlington or Melrose Mindoro. It's likely Darlington. We're expecting it to be Darlington. So we will have that matchup on one of our Queen Bee Radio family of stations. We'll sort out who's remaining after the Level 1 round and bring you as many local teams as we can next week for the Level 2 playoffs. Next week also, oh, by the way, I'm sure you heard the commercials during our broadcast, but we have UW-Platteville men's basketball at the Wisconsin Badgers on Wednesday night. Looking forward to calling that game with Steve Prestegard in Madison on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock right here on X1071 and X1071.com. Get to check off Division I basketball off my bucket list for broadcasting. That's going to be a cool experience coming up on Wednesday night, and a really cool opportunity to see the Guard brothers go at it from their respective sidelines in the Guarding Against Cancer game.
Yes, that's a great opportunity for you. I'm a little bit jealous. So, yeah, that's an awesome game. It's Platteville, I think, is ranked number 18 in D3, so they're set to have another good season. I kind of wish this matchup would have happened last year with all the Platteville's hype around them, and they had a very good team last year. I'm expecting them to be very, very good again this year. But that'll be an interesting test for both schools there. I'm sure the Platteville athletes are looking forward to that and playing in a big arena like the Cole Center, and I can only imagine how excited you are to call that game. That's probably just how excited the student athletes are to play there, and that'll be a fun one to watch and listen to, and I'm looking forward to it for you. So.
Yeah, it should be a fun one next Wednesday night, and then of course, as the postseason rolls along, as many local teams advance and get eliminated, we'll piece together everything that we can to bring you the best local matchups that we can. Always check out our Queen Bee Radio sports schedule at AM1590WPVL.com. Well, that'll put a bow on our broadcast here from Fennimore High School. Thanks to Jim Prohaska and the entire staff here at Fennimore High School for being gracious hosts, as always. Thanks to both head coaches, Tyrell Rosemeyer and Justin Leonard, for the pregame interviews, as well as Coach Rosemeyer and Sean Yankee Fiedler and Reese Kelly joining us on our post-game show. Thanks to all of our sponsors who help us bring high school sports to you, and thank you for listening and watching along. This has been Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of high school football presented by Cuba City, Darlington, and Kieler Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on X1071 WPVL FM Platteville, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by Lely Center Monroe, and H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical. Once again, your final score from the Rock at Fennimore High School. Fennimore defeats Mineral Point 50-7. Fennimore improves to 8-3 on the season, awaiting the winner of Darlington and Melrose Mindoro in Level 2, and Mineral Point finishes their 2025 season with a record of 6-5. For Brad Adams, I'm Tyler DeTanis, broadcasting for the best seat in the house, the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. So long from Fennimore, and we'll see you tomorrow night for regional final Saturday night in high school volleyball. Good night from Fennimore.
This has been a Queen Bee Radio High School Sports presentation.
X1071.
Turn your radios up.
WPVL FM, Platteville and Dubuque.
The best music every day, baby.
Do you feel me?
A Queen Bee radio station.